Oh, right. What is going on, everybody? This is a really, really interesting show. This is gonna be a really fun show. Could get completely off the rails. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we are going to get multiple people from the NFT All Star game that took place last week, last Saturday, Springfield, Massachusetts. It was a hell of a night. It was so much fun to just be here from far away watching the madness. I can only imagine what it was like there in person. And so we're going to ask some of our favorite Top Shot personalities how it went down, what it was like, if there were things that surprised them, if there's things that maybe they hope we can do even better the next time, things like that. That's kind of what I am curious about, and you can all add in your 2 cents as well to see what you guys are interested in learning more about from the event. So I do have some topics. I have some people in the green room. I have some people that want to talk about their experience. It's all a little bit riding by the seat of my pants right now, like reading DMs as I go. So we're gonna do as best we can. I do have Pack Drip here, so we'll bring in Pack Drip real quick. Pack Drip, you're on, you're live. First of all, how are you feeling? I know that your partner was sick. How are you feeling? Are you avoiding the illness?
I got a little down from it. I'm coming back strong though.
All right, good. You seem okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll be all right. I power through it all.
all right, good. So anyhow, I think so we have a couple people actually on deck. I know we have Joe, aka My Tandy. He wanted to show his experience to somebody that won in the raffle to get in there and just talk about his experience. And then I'm just kind of waiting for the green room to fill up and we can just all get in here and I'll bring up some clips, things that I enjoyed. People can all make fun of each other. It'll be fun.
All right.
But anyhow, just like straight off the bat from your side, now that it's been a week, I'm just curious, like, how are you feeling now after that all went down?
Hold on, let me fix my camera. Oh, I'm feeling great about it. I love that it actually happened. It really came together. It was something I announced on your show, which grew and blossomed into this. Jeb was on the show. I gave him the official first open invite. There was talks before and everything. That's how it was in the works in the first place. I think I've told a couple people enough, like how it all began, going to the summer league and everything, hooping, and then saying like, why don't we just get everybody to come hoop? Not only just a few content creators are there and a few other people. Like, let's make this more of like a everybody gets together once a year type thing, as like I don't know, comic book convention. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah.
Um, NFT convention, and the panelists are playing instead of giving speeches on how good the coin is and stuff. Like, it's just more interactive, and I think it's very unique to this space because you can't do that for like, I mean, Bored Apes could go do their own thing, but like the fact that it, like, they're not dressing up in ape suits and stuff, like, that's not their thing. They're about business and other things. We're collecting NBA Top Shot basketball highlights. We could go play basketball. I made this joke, the UFC strike. We can't go out, and content creators are not going to fight each other for moments and stuff. Like, it sounds insane. I won't be anything a part of it, but it's like, it's funny. But NFL, we could maybe do flag. I think hockey would be too expensive to buy gear and stuff. You really think about it, basketball is just the ultimate thing. Maybe soccer. I think soccer's potential has potential, but maybe not in America, at least where it is now. So coming from a Springfield kid, home of basketball, I think it's amazing. I'm pretty biased being a basketball diehard fan. But we brought it to life, and we brought people like shit. I mean, you were in Portugal, but still were there in spirit and brought this and recorded history and did all these tabs and different stuff producing, and that's why I knew it had to be you.
Thank you, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an incredible thing to watch. Of course, there's things that we're going to hope to improve if we could do it all over again. But what we had was amazing. And even when I go back and watch it now, even with a little bit of shakiness, it's still awesome. I gotta admit.
Right. It still has it. Like, no matter what, every second is captivating, and it's weird. I've rewatched it once fully, and then I've done chunks and stuff. Just trying to make clips. And, but yeah, it definitely has a spark throughout the whole thing. I don't want to go through the long list of excuses yet and everything, but there was definitely a lot of things that happened that got in the way of an even better stream. But next year, we figured a couple things out. We know what it was. This was a test run, and we know who the diehards are. We know who's coming back next year. And the prize pool is going to be up. Everything's going to be even better. But this is a good test run. I think we nailed it.
Cool. Yeah, I totally agree. Anyways, I want to try to, like, I know that Joe wants to come on for a minute, so I'm going to bring Joe on now. So Joe, aka that's my Tandy, and then we have like a bunch of people in the green room. So I want to just like unload everyone as soon as Joe's done.
I brought the banner. I had to put it up for us.
Love it. What's up, everybody? I'm just so thankful to be here. I was the lucky one in the room that won the raffle, the community raffle, got to have the whole experience. So I wanted to come on. First, of course, shout out Pack Drip. I got my little photo montage of the event. So Top Shot Tandy, Pack Drip, I am here to share the experience of just a regular fan. I got to interact with all the influencers and streamers that we know and love, and I want to share about my experience. So you tell me, I can bring out my photos. You have any questions for me, you tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a family vacation slideshow right now. We're gonna take a look at some nice photos from the event real quick. So if you want to share your screen, and I'll bring you in with a little Kawhi Leonard. All right, so let's run it. Let's run down. So this is the entrance, I take it.
Yeah, this is when I first parked and I got there. It's like, you can't miss the Hall of Fame in Springfield. It's amazing driving up to it. If you're Sweet Tooth, is Cold Stone Creamery right in there too. But this is a little look from the outside. And the outside is nice, but really, I mean, this court that we got to play on, the Jerry Colangelo Court of Dreams, I mean, that made it alone a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Get to play on the court. It's a beautiful court. I know Pack Drip has stories of partying with Allen Iverson and others on this court. So obviously it has a lot of history, steeped NBA history in there. And so the court itself was just amazing. I actually went the day before to really soak it in because I knew it was going to be overwhelming when the game was there. And Pack Drip, the legend, was actually able to come down and see me the day before. That was just
did he walk down, or did he like float down? It was just like an aura.
What was crazy was when he showed up, the Harlem Globetrotters also showed up. I didn't know if that was like his plan to like bring the whole entourage, but they were doing like trick shots on the court. There was like no one there. It was like a Friday afternoon before it was closing, and it was just like no one there. So we kind of had the court to ourselves. The Harlem Globetrotters came. It was just a great start to the event. I wanted to really soak it in, so I came early. I also hadn't shot a basketball in like 3 years, but it came right back to me. I hit my first 2 threes from the NBA 3 line there, so it was just amazing to just that shoot around day. I think we should make that a tradition potentially. Pack Trip is day before, maybe skills competition shoot around or something on Friday if it's possible, because I just loved having that kind of more low key energy there. So that was like my day before, but of course this was all about getting there and meeting people. I guess my question here on this photo, what's the fair market value, Tandy, of this photo? We have some of the most famous, well-known whales influencers in this photo. I wonder how many million do you think? You guys think in the face? You put it in the chat too. But what do you think, Tandy?
It's an awful lot of Top Shot moments. There's an awful lot of Top Shot debuts in that picture.
Absolutely. And Patrick,
piles of them.
Patrick, there's some story, right? You all hold the same set. Everyone in this photo holds
we all have
set.
X1 finals set, and I want to call us the 6 rings, because Michael Jordan is at 6. So 6 rings kind of has a ring, but like all 6 of us have the complete set, and then they also like finals family, which I also like finals family. Like 6 rings that like started our club. I don't know, but it can't grow from there. So finals family is probably better.
I like it. And for me, it was like overwhelming seeing these people IRL, talking hoops with them. I got to talk with everybody a little bit. Probably not enough time. I wish there was more time because we had to get right to the game, but everyone was so nice, friendly. There was not any, mean spirit in the room. Even when the game was going, it was all kind of just good vibes all around. So I want to start out there with this, amazing people who were there. This photo, I think, captures it. So here is my next photo. I tried to capture. So these are all my photos that I took along the way. Obviously, shout out to Seeing Green, who destroyed us in the game. That didn't really matter at the end of the day, but they were all ballers on that team. Here are the 2 of the ballers. And obviously that started with the MVP JPEG trainer. I know he'll be on later. But it seemed like all of Seeing Green could hoop. I don't know how we balance the teams next year, Pack Chip, a little bit more. But even though we had more players, it didn't matter because Seeing Green was all ballers.
I don't know anybody. That's the one issue. Is the few people that I did know who could play, I tried to balance them, and the rest was a crapshoot. Some people didn't come, and it really turned into that, and it just we didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. Yeah. There were some people who were like, "Yo, you'll see how I play when I show up." Nobody wanted to be honest about anything, so I had to try to build off of the one time I seen somebody. I'm like height. I try to ask people for their stats. I'm trying to height and weight and stuff. I tried to get to the detail. I'm trying to get height on each side and everything, and I guess guards or whatever would be considered.
Jeb saying he was honest. What did Jeb tell you?
Oh yeah, there were people who were like, I'm all right, I haven't played in a couple of years, blah blah blah. But I'm still down. I still shoot around or here and there.
I think Clee Gaines was a little bit of a ringer.
Clee Gaines was the ringer. I'm telling you, Clee Gaines was.
We'll get there. I have some photos and stories about Clee Gaines, so I'll get to those. But these were 2 ballers from Seeing Green, and even though we got blown out in the game, it didn't matter.
Did Clee Gaines score 24 points?
He had 21 and 10 or something. And,
that's a pretty crappy stat line.
He was telling everybody, I probably won't even be able to run 5 minutes out there. I can't do this.
Typical.
And you see him banging down low, footwork, spinning, post hooks. Yeah. It's what are you doing, Clee Gaines? Are you sure you're going to
I have some commentary on that. I have some commentary on that. I have some photos and some commentary on that later. But yeah, I think that he came and he had some skills that he didn't put up front in the beginning. But the other thing I would just say about JPEG Trainer, now he was the MVP, but at the end of the game, he was not even sweating. I was like, I was done. You know me, Tandy. I'm an aging Jew. We just sweat we're in a sauna after 5 minutes of exercise.
You were sweating from the car to the entrance of the Hall of Fame. You're covered.
I started sweating. I saw the Cold Stone Creamer. I even started sweating about that, thinking about if I would have it later. Yeah, so there's a lot of sweating going on. But here we go. So even though Seeing Green did have the game, we did have great character on our team. So this is my Zakarian highlight here. We got Zakarian. What I like about him is I get to meet him. He was awesome. He's good spirit on our team. He kept us up even though we're getting crushed. One thing you learn in basketball is never put your hands on your knees because it shows you're giving up and you're tired. You can see here Zakarian. That's his pose there. You can see hands on his hips, ready to play. I was impressed with his leadership on the team there. So I started with Zakarian, little highlight there. I got another photo of him later. But as you can see over here, who we got? This is Top Shot Talk over here, Tandy.
Yep, that's him. It's probably
also,
Canada.
Baller, like, so they came to ball. So there's Zakarian. So here's my Clegains photos. And here's what I would say about Clegains. He is the #1 trash talker out there. But what's funny is that he trash talk about himself. And do you know what that was? It was a rope-a-dope. You ever see that in boxing? You know, you pretend you're tired. He was like, oh, I'm going to be, after 2 minutes of running, I'm going to be hyperventilating. You see on the right here with him, I think his game was like Charles Barkley. So I like that one with Charles Barkley. He's trying to pull up his pants. He's like, oh, I don't know if I can game. Then that one on the left, I mean, actually, Jeb, I know he's on here. I wonder what he was saying. That's like a caption that photo. I don't know if Clegains is showing him on his.
Jeb, do you remember what you were saying? Do you want to pop in? And if you remember, just wave your hand. I'll let you pop in. No, he's saying he doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember. But Clegains, he was a nice guy. He didn't trash, but he trash talked himself. But I think there was a strategy to that. So maybe we're like, oh, no, this guy doesn't know what he's doing on the court. But no.
Yeah.
He was highly skilled. Ringer, Clegains, good guy, trash talker. Next time, maybe he'll bring out the trash talk to other people. I was feeling like, it was our first time doxing, and he wanted to be nice about it. But, yeah, I feel like there's trash talk in there. Maybe one day we'll see it. Maybe next All-Star game.
Yeah.
All right. So up next we got this is for Team Hold. This is like my
those legs.
My best legs photo. So on the left is obviously the winner of the best legs, Fleo, on one side. And the other side, the person who thinks he was rugged by that and obviously was angling for best legs here. You got Dream. Again, these were like just random photos I took, but I think Dream wants a recount on the best legs, obviously. Photo. That's what he was talking about. But Fleo was the one that took that home. Got a nice photo of him on the bench there. These are my teammates.
You printed that out, or?
Yeah. Pin it up on my wall. It's like one of those calendars, pin up calendars.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? That could be for next year.
That's not even Dream's jersey. So when I brought all the jerseys, when I picked up the box, somehow, like, the jersey fell out. And Dream was helping me move everything, too. I have no clue how. When I moved all the stuff, we got to the Hall of Fame at, like, 2 o'clock to set up and everything. We get there. The only jersey missing, Dream's. I had to race back home to go get his jersey, and he put this on. This one, and I did blank jerseys, one on each side, just in case there was somebody who, like, we needed a sub or something, because if anybody pulled out, yada yada yada. And yeah, he put on he was in the spare jersey. I picked number 17 because that was my dad's birthday, and he passed away. So I just kind of wanted to fit like a little homage to my dad in the game. And I didn't know anyone wore the jersey before right now. I never seen that picture before.
All right, there you go. And even though Rising Floor didn't win on the court, we definitely won on the best legs category. So we got that. We got that. All right. Here's a picture of me. And this is a note for anyone that comes for next year. So this is me. I did all of this photography, and a lot of Tandy, your stream, I pulled out my gimbal, my device, and I was filming.
Yeah, you pulled that gimbal right out.
Yeah, I shot the day before in the shoot around. I shot real well, but I was filming the 3-point contest, the knockout. I think it got my arm really tired, and I couldn't come in game. So one thing and I think all of the creators do that because none of them were they were too focused on the game, and I probably should have been too, but I wanted to capture stuff for everybody. So I did that at my own demise, I think. So I'm hoping maybe next year I get another shot of it. I can prepare myself and know to balance the amount of content creation and actually playing or 3-point shooting you're going to do. But it was a good time nonetheless. You got TS Trigger, who won the dunk contest in the back there, as well as some of my other teammates. So let's get to some, I thought I'd get your breakdown. You and Patrick can break down the form of some of the players here. So I try to get some action shots of all the players. So I thought I have two or three of these you can break down if you want, and either recap on the form and play of these three, who I thought were standouts in the game.
Yeah. Okay. So are we breaking down their form? I mean, there was some impressive shooting. Zakarian. Well, we could pop him in for a second here. Zakarian crushed it in the second round
on threes.
Yeah,
he hit the over. So Vegas was mad. I got paid.
Yeah, he crushed it in the second round.
And the only person I didn't get here was the 3-point winner, which was C-Truth, right? I didn't get a photo of him shooting, but I do remember in the game, I don't know if you have the footage, he was injured. And he did a total, Willis Reed?
He banked it in from the right wing. I remember this. He banked the 3, and then he fell, and then subbed out like it was wrestling. Like
Yeah.
he just ran out, and then someone came in.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
like,
he pulled his
"Hey!"
calf.
Yeah,
He pulled his calf when he landed off the fadeaway.
he was limping around after that, but it was very much like a shoot the three, fade away. He was just like kind of limping after that. I was very, very impressed with that. So I didn't get a shot at him. But these are three of our shooters. I got three more. So that I got a few more shooters here. Get Alexo. I heard people were talking some, smack about Alexo's shot, but he was the finalist in the knockout. Should we not forget that?
Hold on, Alexa, you have something to
Never
say?
forget.
And he was a lefty too. I think people just didn't understand because I think he was one of the only lefties on the court. So maybe people just didn't were thrown off by his him being a southpaw on there. But yes, more form there.
Let's talk about him while we watch him. Go ahead.
I'm on the way to a gator farm right now.
Gator farm? What are you about to do?
Swamp tour. A swamp tour. Same thing.
Swamp tour. Oh, cool.
I
I
don't know. I think the shot spoke for itself. So I think the NBA players should start adopting it.
I mean, I think certain NBA players have adopted it. It reminded me a lot of Joakim Noah.
Yeah, exactly. That's where he got it from.
Prolific shooter.
Just like Alexa.
But Alexo was definitely an MVP on the team. He was putting out the memes in our team chat, getting us psyched up, and then afterwards making sure that we were hydrated, and if we needed oxygen or IV, he was like, "Just go get what you need to after the game." So
did Alexo cut up oranges?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, more or less. He was making sure that our heads were in the game and we were enjoying ourselves, even if the score didn't reflect it. But you got Veerman in the middle there, and then obviously our sixth man. This is was it Tilson? Is his name?
Tilson, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk
he,
Tilson real quick.
Yeah, he flew in. Well, first let me hype him up. He flew in from Chicago with the entourage.
Spot.
We got the fam here. We got Rising Four in the building. We got three of you guys in here. Look at you with the shirt. Let's go.
Tilson brought an entourage. He probably had 5. I think he came with the most fans. He had like 5 or 6 people that flew in from Chicago with him.
Wow.
He's just a freshman, so we got to give him. He came off the bench, but he showed that he maybe next year he could be starting. Maybe throw some dunks.
He had some near very nasty plays. He had a coast to coast dunk. Well, let's talk about that for a second, actually. James, so you were taking it coast to coast. You got way up there. And then out of nowhere, the ghost of Dikembe Mutombo just rejected you at the rim.
Yeah,
is that what happened?
The rim did me a little dirty on that one. I was feeling good. I think I just stole it from Clegane. It was wide open. It was in the middle of the desert. I saw no one in front of me. Yeah. I went up, I guess, a little too confident and didn't throw it down. But luckily, Fleo got the rebound, and we ended up scoring anyways. So it wasn't too big of a Shaq and a Fool moment, but definitely would have put me on there. So
yeah,
next year I'll get one for sure. Yeah, and then I'll win the dunk contest too.
Oh, big words there. He's gonna win the dunk contest.
We have. I sent Tandy some footage. I actually have a lost file of JPEG Trainer's the forearm dunk. The honey dip.
You know what though? I have it. Let me do something on the back end. I'll get something going. No, I got it.
Oh, you got it? All right.
Yeah, I gotta do something on the back end.
We'll save it for JPEG Trainer when he comes. Let's give definitely Alexo. I couldn't stop talking about it. I'm with the drip. That's all that really matters to me. And he showed up with the Kobe 6s on.
Yeah, you love those Kobe 6s.
I love them so much. Booker wears them every game and does his thing, and Alexo did the same thing out there.
Alexo, why would you have considered if he had asked you ahead of time to give in pack drip? What are they called when you drink a beer out of a shoe? A shoey? Would you have given pack drip a shoey out of your purple Kobe?
I would have been honored to do a shoey out of Alexo's shoe.
Would you have given pack drip a shoey after the game? Oh, geez. That's an important question.
We're losing them in the Everglades.
Yeah. I didn't catch that, but the answer's probably yes.
All right. Well, there you go. And would you accept a shoey after in a game used sneaker? That's the real question factor. Game used sneaker, but it is the purple Kobe. Would you drink a shoey?
Well, who wore the shoe though, Tandy?
Alexo
if it was Joe's sweaty ass, no.
Okay. I just got an assist.
Alexo.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
You had the ringing socks out and everything, but Alexo, this was light work to him. This, he was putting up numbers, doing his thing. So I think I would have did a shoot out of it, no problem.
All right, there you go.
But
that's what the people wanted to know.
James Tilson also entered the raffle. and won a spot into the game. He's not some content creator who has a podcast or YouTube videos and stuff. He just loves what all the people do in this space does, and he gets his info from Top Shot from here.
Yes,
and he's a part of the community, and this is what this event really was about, was bringing everybody together to where Top Shot retweeted our game. We got one retweet out of it. And at least we got appreciated in the grander scheme, and everybody else can see it too. And we can see Alexo with Veerman and Mike Zakarian and TST and James Tilson and like all these people that you would never see in the same room together all came together and like collabed on something for real. Like people talk about content creators, people talk about community, beat their chest from the rooftops. Community is the most important thing in the world. This was an important place for people who claim that to be, and they were there. There's other people who couldn't make it for other reasons and anything else, but I know the people that were there are truly here for the right reasons, and those are the people that we should definitely look to if we ever need advice or anything like that, because they're looking out for I think more the greater good and just what this community and culture is. I didn't pay for nobody's flights out or anything, so whoever came out, anybody in this game who came here spent, I'm going to say, probably over $1,000 between hotel, flight, food, all the other little things, shoes, socks, whatever, time away from family, work, whatever it is. Like, people really put up a lot of stuff for this to truly be appreciated by some collectors, and that's what's happening, and it's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Definitely. Big tings. Big
Lot of fun.
Everybody sacrificed for this to come together and make some of the dopest content this space has ever seen. And I'm thankful for it all.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's huge, and it'll just keep getting better, I think.
All right, Teddy, I got some more photos. Yeah, I got some more photos. Got some more form shot photos here from the Scene Green team that I couldn't miss. Like this picture of Clegane's of his shot. You see how much air he gets underneath his shot there. You can see that's like his jump shot there. But it did bank in, so I can't say anything. He was just wet all game. Top Shot Talk also Canadian, like no emotion. He almost was like Tim Duncan a little bit. I felt like Top Shot Talk. I would compare him to Tim Duncan, like no emotion in the game, but like bawling the whole time. And then over there on the right, I think that's Okay Jose, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. All the way on the right there, Tandy, if you know who that is, I'm shooting. But the Scene Green,
number 6, no?
Yep,
the guy won the 3-point.
Wolfpack.
Yep, another raffle winner.
Okay, so they were shooting.
Jose. That's what Jeb just told me. Okay,
yep,
Jose.
Yep, and so they were shooting lights out. So that's some lights out shooting that we saw from Scene Green. I was impressed with that. All right, but I wanted to finish with some of my favorite photos after the game. This is after the game. I know we were really disappointed with the dunk contest last night. That's like a unanimous, super disappointed with the dunk contest. But I got treated to my own personal dunk contest by Air Canada, obviously, Steve Veerman here. And these are some of my last photos that I had to show from some footage I got. This is from one of them. Here's another one. I mean, like, this is probably would have won the dunk contest. Don't you think, Tandy? Like, if he had brought this dunk out, on the first try, he might have won.
I think so. That's some great cinematography right there.
Thank you. Again, I feel like I jeopardized, or I put my game under par during the game because I was grabbing these things, but that's fine. I got one more there. Yeah, so Veerman was a good time. There's the monster dunk down low, and you can see he's having a good time. And I would say that's what this was all about, having a good time. Some great Veerman dunks here. But I just wanted to pull out this photo of Patrick. I just want to thank him. It's kind of the behind the scenes work that not everybody sees, all the hard work that he put into this, all the vision and organizing really paid off. And you can see that I felt like this was a good one to show because you can see he's got his Roham love letter banner there. And I feel like Patrick was our Roham at the event. I know we shouted out Roham, but Patrick really was the Roham of the NFT All Star game. He pulled it off. Pioneering this kind of in real world utility, and it was really, really amazing. Tandy, I can't shout out Patrick enough.
It seems like it wouldn't be a reach to call him the king of the castle, would it?
King in the castle, king in the castle.
Which moment do you think would be the rarest one out of those 5? Which one's the most collectible? I like the TED Talk.
We're talking about the pictures on the
Yeah,
on like the
because I
blanket
made
looking
them.
thing.
No, this one is the best photo. Obviously, this is the photo of everyone who was there at the game. It was really, really amazing. Everyone there, you can see I'm like dead. That's my one photo there after the game. We really played hard. It was a great group, and I really feel like this should become an annual tradition. So, of course, I'll do anything to help make sure that this is an annual tradition, Tandy, because it really is such a great community that we brought together here. So, super, super amazing.
You guys made me take this picture too. I wasn't in it when we took the team. You know, I was trying to set up this team picture, and everyone yells at me, "You gotta get in it! You gotta get in it!" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to get in." But you guys are.
Well, I told Backtrip before that if you don't get the team shot, this is the money shot. If you don't miss this,
he's like, "You gotta get this."
If you don't get this,
like,
it didn't happen. If you didn't get this, receipts. These are the receipts that we all actually came together, and it wasn't some CGI thing or like something else. So yeah, and Patrick was like so humble, very humble. But we yelled at him because we needed him in the photo, and afterwards he got a nice shot of tequila even on the court.
I know that was one of the highlights of the event. I saw that when Mike and Veerman gave him 2 bottles.
Yeah. That was cool. All right, so that's my experience, Tandy. I did have one more thing just to shout out. Where I'm on the Tandy stream, I promote my Tandy. This is some alpha for anyone who's watching because I am a creator too. I did win the raffle. I'm a different kind of creator. And you know that you're going to be helping me with this, Tandy. And I'm going to be relaunching a podcast that I used to run called Let's Break Good. And we're going to focus on NFTs and philanthropy. It's going to be a Twitter Spaces and a podcast. And I'm excited to relaunch that. I'm targeting 3, 2, 1 for it. Around March 21st, but we're going to announce it tomorrow that it's coming back because we had 2 seasons of it on other topics of podcast. We're bringing it back. So, I had to do a little shameless self-promotion with all my other creatives here, Tandy. But again, most of all, I'm just very thankful for having won the raffle, have the experience. I'm hoping that my content creation will grandfather me in, Pack Trip. That's my prayer to you is that.
No, you're a camera. You got grandfathered in the cameraman. I'm gonna be honest.
But I won't be. Just know the cameraman won't show up if he can't get in the game. So you'll have to balance
next year.
You'll have to balance.
People who didn't show up.
No, but
I swear to God, I'm not joking.
Yeah,
but I don't think I can allow you to play anymore. I'm sorry I can take that from you, but I can't replace the pictures and stuff you gave because the people. Yeah, like I said, even the cameraman. Another thing, I didn't want to do a laundry list of excuses, but the cameraman that everyone's seen with the camera running around the court the entire game never pressed record. Like I can't get to the bottom of this. I couldn't believe it happened. And
I actually have a clip that I added today that covers this pretty well.
That was it. Like it just things started piling on with the camera issues and then that I thought the one cameraman that did show up, I hired 4. I started with 2. Was I probably needed a third, a backup. Let me contact somebody. That third guy ended up bailing, put me on to this guy who never pressed record. But anyway.
The truth is the Tandies will bring it. The Tandies will always bring. The Tandies will come in clutch.
Tandy.
But getting to play in that game is priceless. So you wouldn't have to pay me. I would get you figure all out that production for you, Patrick. Just let me one more shot at that 3-point contest. With that, I'm gonna peace out. You've got such an amazing roster of people here. I know you got the MVP JPEG trainer coming on later. You got Tilson Alexo already on in Pack Trip. You're king, man, king of the castle. So.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
Tune into Tandy. Watch what Pack Trip's up to. They give the community such a great experience. It didn't matter if you were a whale or just like me, you've got maybe some hustle and show in you. And I'm just thankful to have been there and to recap it on the stream with you, Tandy, today.
Well, thank you. You were a seriously clutch contributor. If you weren't there, I think people might have been whining about the cameras, but if you weren't there, it would have been an absolute nothing burger, as they say. So that was huge that you were there and you had the knowledge of doing this kind of thing in the past to know what you needed to get done. So thank you for being able to do that.
Anytime, Tandy. Thanks everybody. James, Alexo, Pack Trip, everybody in the audience. Good stuff. Enjoy the recap. I'll be in the chat.
Peace.
All right. See ya. Thank you.
Alexa, I have a question for you. Did you find any trash talk? Were you trash talking? Who was talking?
I'm gonna pop a few more people in here.
Was there any memories you had from the game that are sticking? Can you hear me? Can you hear
I
me,
think Alexa might be on like some Gator internet or something.
Was there any matchups you were trying to exploit in the game? What did you see? Was anybody a half step slow? Who were you trying to take to the cup?
I've never heard of this. What, trash talk after the game?
No. Like in the game, like were you talking trash in the game? Were you trying to figure out your matchups? Like what? Tell me anything about how you were feeling while you were playing.
Slight
I don't know.
indigestion.
Everyone was too nice. I think next time we'll have to get a little tougher.
Gotcha. The game will be closer. You know.
That's true. I bet if the game was a little
closer, it would be a little chippier. There would have been some shoulders on screens, you know.
Yeah.
Well, welcome the Mikes and Clegains. Thank you for joining.
What's up, y'all? Good to see everybody.
Yeah, what do you guys have to say about trash talking? Go ahead, Mike. I'll let Karen go first. I'm gonna try to manage this, but how did you feel out there? What was it like meeting everybody? What was it like? Was there any like competitiveness or competitive edge out there on the court, or was everyone just giving each other compliments all night?
No, I think what was nice is that we were down 40 early, and I think once you go down 40, you're out there having a good time. And then I think too, I kind of surveyed the court, and I was like, okay, cool. I think I'm 8 to 10 years older than everybody here. So then, the bar for success was like so much. Like the fact that I was out there, it's like that's a W. You know what I mean? This is how, as you get older, you learn how to justify and figure out some wins, and that's what we did. That's what we did out there. No, it was a blast. It was, everybody's already thanked Pack Drip, but for him to put together something like this is pretty wild, and just like selfless of him too. So shout out Pack Drip, and you can pay for my physical therapy. I think that then we can call it even.
Yeah, I think that does sound nice. So how about Clegains here? Clegains, what do you have to say for yourself? Because if you ask me, I think that was quite the ringer job. I was on Twitter. You're like, I'm just going to be vomiting in my sneakers and I won't be able to do anything. And then you get there, you put up 20 plus points. So what's that all about?
Yeah. Okay. Listen. So I want to make it clear that I wasn't trying to rug anybody. Like I genuinely am so out of shape right now. Like you saw the pictures. Like I was showing Jeb and some of the guys, like, after the game, what I look like when I'm in shape, and I am nowhere near that right now. So I was like completely genuine when I was like, I haven't run in X amount of time. Like I haven't touched a basketball in 3 years. Like those were all true statements. Like, yes, I did used to play basketball in the past, but I was genuinely concerned of how my performance would be going into that game. I didn't realize that
were you putting up
Green
numbers when you were in shape. Were you like putting up numbers on these teams you were a part of?
Oh yeah, I was. All right, listen, I don't want to, turn this into a bragging contest, but like I was good. I was nice. I was a 3-sport athlete, like no big deal.
All right. See, there it is, folks.
No, but like I was concerned. I didn't realize Seeing Green though had such like a well put together roster. So like it just felt nice. Like we had good chemistry. I think part of that had to do with the fact that we only had 2 subs. So a lot of us were on the court like together for a while. So we were able to build some chemistry just organically as we played, and that helped us out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think like how next time, if let's say the same thing happens next time, and anyone else here can chime in. The same thing happens next time. All of a sudden, there's 2 teams. One team has 3 like all-star caliber players on it, and the other team looks like they just got done, studying all night for an exam for the last 3 months.
They should have made JPEG Trainer a ref halfway through. Just been like, you know what? You know how to play basketball, so we need someone else to make sure we get these calls right.
He still gets the MVP though. He keeps the MVP. He just has to referee the second half.
Get the halftime MVP, and then you're just removed from the game, and then you ref. You've already done.
I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought Tilson was gonna drop about 30 or 40 on us. So I was a bit nervous watching him warm up. Even the refs came up to me. They're like, "Watch out for that one kid," and he's just like laying it up and touching the rim casually. I'm like, all right,
He was the only one on our team that was actually good at basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, Tilson was solid, and I'm trying to pull up some of the videos here, but the one I have right here is when he gets rejected by the rim. That's not really matching the narrative here.
And you guys missed this too.
I would say no one else on the team could get rejected by the rim.
No, that's exactly right.
For real. I mean, he front rimmed the dunk, but he still got up there. I mean,
and you guys don't know this, but at halftime, he like took me to the bathroom and slapped me in the face about his playing time. So that's why he got a lot more run in the second half.
Hold on. This is this is actually like a nice clip of his. Hold on. Is there any way I can make this look better? Here. Boom. Euro step. I mean, right there. That's like to be able to just Euro step and make it look so easy. That's how you know Tilson knows what he's doing out there.
Was I defending him there too? I feel like I just let him go. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Hey, Tan,
Clegane played like
the DM.
Oh yeah. I got the dunk. I got the Vince Carter dunk for JPEG.
No one has seen this. No angles actually captured it properly.
Hold on. I'm gonna share it right now.
But it's still only a sneak preview of it's not full high def footage.
All right, here we go.
My camera's taking forever.
I'll receive refunds after this.
I like PPE's commentary.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but on the backboard it says no hanging on the rim. I was a bit nervous that the one dunk I was going to do was going to get me kicked out the Hall of Fame, but it was cool.
That's true.
Yeah.
The other team should have called the technicality and had you thrown out.
Right. You're lucky it was close to the public at that point, so we were safe.
The JPEG trainer, tell me about playing D1 soccer. What's going on there? You played D1 soccer for UMass and UConn, and then what happened? Then you just decided to mess up a bunch of people in basketball one night?
Yeah, I mean, soccer is my main sport. I have Jamaican parents, so that's the only sport I played growing up. But I'm from Springfield, so like you have to know how to play a little bit of basketball, a little bit of football. Truthfully, I don't play basketball as often as it seems, right? I mean, I had a really good performance in the All Star game. I was telling Pack Trip that I model my game like Draymond Green, right? I don't score, I don't pass, I'm not a good dribbler, but I can play good defense and get rebounds. And I don't know, it's just something. I don't know. Maybe I walk past the Kobe.
Draymond Green wishes he could play like that.
Yeah, I don't know. You and Cleganes.
I'm a bit nervous because I think everyone's gonna expect that same performance from me next year, and I'm telling you, I don't ball like that. I really don't. I know I can run. I can run a lot. I can jump pretty high, but I don't know. And I'm not being humble. I'm being completely honest.
I don't know. I think
he was trying to sub out.
Anybody from the other team want to deny or what do you think about this claim here? From
to JPEG Trainer's credit, him just being able to run up and down the court is probably more than anyone else could do there.
I got all my points in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah.
And I did it on purpose. I knew it was gonna happen. Fourth quarter, I started running.
Yeah, it was definitely a reality check, I think, for all of us to be like, oh wow, we have a lot of exercising to do to be able to like actually compete at a respectable level next year.
You know, I noticed on Saturday I actually felt pretty good, and then Sunday when I woke up I felt pretty good, and then when I got off the train in New York City it felt like I had been shot a few times, and it was like for the next 3 days I was walking funny, like every sort of move hurt, but there was like a 6-hour window. It's like still got it, baby, still in shape, still got it. Devastation set in on me.
I'll also say I think it would have been better if we had, like how Joe was saying, we should do the skills contest, the 3-point contest, and the dunk contest the day before. Because in my defense, I warmed up thinking we were about to play. I'm all sweaty. My muscles are all like limber and ready to go. And then we sit around for an hour and a half. And I'm like, well, there goes my chance at like really like turning it on.
Yeah. Pack Trip, I'm sure it's like no thing to just like rent out the Hall of Fame for the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
The 2 days would have definitely been impossible for me to man myself. But also, I will say, I put Rising Stars at a deficit. I look back at it. We went to the casino the night before. Yeah. Me, Mike, Jeb, Steve, and Renato, Dream Shake. I know now. I know him by his real name. I'm forgetting Dream Shake. In Dream Shake. So it was me and 4 Rising Star members at the casino till 2 a.m. the next day. So it's like I kept them up late. You know, Joe Tandy was also did a shoot around the day before, tired his legs out. So seeing Green came really fresh.
Sounds like an excuse, man.
I'm trying to do like an All Star. We should do like the All Star.
What? James, next time.
So I mean, you guys, that's the issue I have now. And I think we could kind of definitely, this is a good place to mince it all out. You guys want to defend Seeing Green the title, but then what do we do from there? Who's the captain? What do we like? It gets very dicey. But this game was a good example of how we should build it from here. So
that's a great question, though. Like, how would you do it differently?
I was thinking, this is a theory of mine. I don't know. I don't know if we want to run with this, but there was like this Mike and Mike rivalry prior to the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all would be down for this. And then we do make it like a Mike and Mike thing next year. This is a theory. We can couple this up and put it into an idea bucket. But maybe like that, where it's like they draft the two Mikes, draft for Rising Floor and Seeing Green, and you guys go like that. I don't know. Seeing Green did want to return and defend the title, so that's 7 guys who would be locked in for that team if they did want to. I don't know. I'm open to it all, and this is a community event. This is not a dictatorship. So
I love the idea. I have 2 rules on my side. One, I can never be on Zakarian's team. We need to go up against each other.
We need to guard each other.
2, I only ever want to play with the Seeing Green team. The 7 of us, we had 6 other people on the team who made me look like I sort of knew what was going on. All I had to do was not get the ball stolen from me, make 1 pass, and that was it. And I want that every year. I want what we had together last week. I want that every year. And I would say give our core team a chance to defend our title at least one more time. If we win by 30 again, we can go back to the drawing board. But I'd love to run it back with these guys. And I'd hope that Rising Floor is sitting there saying we could have made that a closer game. But I don't know. Are you guys not?
I mean,
how do you feel
we got ran over by a bus and at halftime. So we were all limping around after that. So I mean, we got to blow up Rising Floor for sure.
All right, we can.
Here's how we did
I just
it.
love being out there with Seeing Green.
Here's how we
for the first pick.
James, instead of bringing your family next time, bring your whole rec team. Okay? They're starting. We're on the bench.
We'll see if
You're turning to the Monstars over here.
You know, maybe Jacob can hook us up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll get the White Mamba and Brandon Jennings to come and play next time.
Yeah.
Rising Floor is down bad right now.
So I actually have some breaking news here.
You're down bad.
All right, hold on. So Clegane showed
we got Clegane.
Unreal.
What?
That's insane.
That's me in shape, guys. I'm out of shape. It's been COVID.
What's going on? How long ago was this?
It was a few years ago. It was pre-COVID.
These are Ben Wallace.
Pre-COVID. That's not that long ago. So we're talking.
It's like this particular photo is like probably 4 or 5 years old.
What was your anabolic routine?
Listen. I can't give away all my secrets. Like, you got to pay for that.
Yo, Cleganes, are you like is Arnold Schwarzenegger your dad or grandfather? Or
yeah.
Listen, guys. I was trying to tell Jeb because Jeb was talking to me a lot before the game, and I was like, listen. Like, I am not in shape right now. Like, I'm worried I'm going to be really bad and like make an ass of myself. But like, luckily everyone else was kind of in the same boat as me. So it worked out.
No, we've never been in the
besides
same
JPEG,
boat.
like he just was running up and down the court unlimited minutes and he would ask for a sub. And I was like, no, you're not even tired. Like
JPEG, it was like holding the turbo button down on the controller.
Yeah, it cheat mode on, right?
He didn't even have a Gatorade cup. Like that indicator just wasn't even there for him.
I'll tell you what, I was trying to get hustle stats, which is funny because the only Top Shot set I have completed is hustle and show. So I don't know, that's just
there we go.
I just like to run up and down, defend, get rebounds and blocks. But TST was getting all the blocks. So I'm like, well, I guess I have to do something different. Let me take some jump shots.
TST is very good.
TST was if you didn't win MVP, he was the clear lock. Like that dude was
there was a problem with the stats. I went back to the stat sheet and him and Cleganes had it tied in stats, but Cleganes had like a little more points. I think he had 1 less point than JPEG Trainer. It was hard not to like say like he also kind of owned the paint. It's a big man award.
He got like 5 blocks in like the first.
Yeah, I feel like he was. I feel like he got rugged from the best player of the game.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Cleganes, because you could have gotten it too. I think it was like me, you, and TST are just like.
We had a big three.
Game's defensive approach was he was a wall. He just stood there. If you got past him, you got past him, but you could not if you were directly in front.
You weren't
of him,
backing me down. That's
you were
for
done
sure.
for. Yeah.
I know Veerman's not here to defend himself, but like he gave me a lot of credit for like basically not allowing him to score the whole game, and he's like, "Oh, you deserved it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll take it." You know.
All right, we got another person back here. Here's Dream Shaker.
What's going on, everyone?
Was the jersey on?
Yeah, gotta have it on. You know, James was on their show on Friday, so I was like, all right, gotta throw this in the wash, get ready for Tandy's stream. You know, gotta.
Oh, you washed it? Nah, come on, man. You gotta keep I hung mine up, sweaty as hell. It's just in a frame in my living room right now. Like,
well, you know, the wifey controls everything over here, so you know, happy wife, happy life, and you know, or whatever, the other way around. But yeah.
Hey, James, did you wash yours? Because I'm just thinking you're in college right now, and in college you do laundry like once every 8 weeks. So be honest, did you wash that jersey?
I just washed it today, actually.
Yeah.
This is fresh out the dryer.
That's good.
I found out that James lives like less than a mile away from me. So he goes to Northwestern, and I'm like, well, I'm going to dox like where I live, I guess. But I live kind of close to Northwestern, but we found out that we're like right here. So that was pretty cool to find out.
Yeah.
Well, you
James,
can get some practicing in.
What's it like walking around on campus now? Are you like high-fiving you?
24/7. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you from Tandy Stream? You know, Pack Truth? That's my baby.
he's got just hose
It's not my
on
class.
lock over there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's it.
You deserve it. You deserve it, man.
So I actually have something queued from the game. It's actually like a nice play from Rising Floor involving Zakarian and actually Jeb Bush. Let's do it. Let's all bask in this for a second.
I know.
It's the one play. I know what it is too.
You got one
Yeah.
play, Here it is.
Yeah. Shout out to Triggs too. This nice little give and go. Ready?
Really wants to shoot it.
You should.
Actually, Jeb. There we go. Actually, Jeb for three.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Buckets.
Is that your one basket, Jeb?
I had more than one basket, buddy.
I'm just fucking
But I watched the playback like while I was at the airport, and I realized like, dude, I should have just been shooting. Like I did not want to take that was the only outside shot I took because I bricked that first mid-range jumper, and I was just like, and my whole strategy was like, look, everyone wants to be like in front of the camera, everyone wants to show off. I'm gonna get rebounds and blocks and hustle plays, and I'm not gonna take any threes. And I don't know. I was gonna feed Zakarian and give him screens all day. That was the plan.
And how did that plan work out?
You know, you got to go back to the drawing board. Obviously.
Yeah, no screens, no screen. Also, Jeb, I'm gonna push back a little bit. Was anyone excited to play basketball on camera?
No, I was so nervous.
I was
like, I did not want to be on camera.
Not
I
me,
scored the
not
first
you.
bucket of the game, and I was so relieved. I was like, I'm not gonna put up 0 points. I'm good to go.
Especially with Jacob on. Apparently, he was thrashing us a bit, so that was pretty fun to hear.
Jacob was thrashing us, Dream.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard
Jacob.
You were thrashing us, Dream. You were thrashing us. I saw the clip. It was in the DMs.
Jacob was defending us.
Jacob was the only person on that stream defending the honor of the game.
We gotta get Jacob there next year.
Correct.
We've got drama on Rising Floors.
Elite content. I am quoting him directly. He loved it.
It was. So I actually have that clip. It's kind of hilarious.
Jacob's a true sport. He's a warrior. I love him.
Hold on, we got Mike in the back here too. So
what up, Mike? Good to see you.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, guys?
Mike?
Yeah, that was
This is
crazy.
the guy you got to talk to.
Oh no,
I felt bad crushing Dream here because we do so many
all-
streams together, but yeah.
You should not feel bad.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
It worked out. It was planned. It was planned.
It was just funny when Jacob gave his live take here. I think I can't remember if it was right
Jacob
here.
couldn't
Wait, hold on.
believe it.
He's giving us the court side right now.
Here it is. Right here.
There's Dream. This is Dream basically saying like my team is just a bunch of ball hogs. There's Dream on his own thing.
Not
He's
shooting
like,
enough. That's where that was coming from.
Well, the ball is tough.
It's
Like I'm trying to move the ball like to one place and then wanting to get the ball back, and then I just throw it down and somebody shoots an air ball. So,
I think he's talking about Zakarian there.
Look at the look on my face. I'm legitimately like,
Look at
okay.
the look on everyone's face.
Oh, that was
So
my,
good.
that, I mean, kudos Dream because that was the most entertaining part of the whole stream. I think.
So good.
Let me see.
I love that
see
the
if we can
bottom left says not affiliated with NBA Top Shot and Jacob comes on.
Well, let me see if we can get Jacob's take real quick.
That's real Eddie. How?
So I think I should just shoot more now because
you don't get this content everywhere. Selling out his teammates.
Selling out his teammates.
I didn't hear that part. That's hilarious. Damn, he thrashed me then. So correction, he thrashed me then. Good.
Oh god, that was awesome. I think we need more of that. Honestly, the next time we need people like talking shit about the rest of their own team.
It didn't feel
the
really
other
good to be
team
losing at that point by that much, but yeah, I got it.
I had 2 or 3 camera angles, that, like I was saying, and because of the fact that I had to use my phone to stream and be the second angle and everything, I would have got more sideline interviews and did all the other little stuff to capture this, but I had to be the main feed from my phone. So, yeah.
I will definitely talk more shit next time.
We'll get more shit talking. We'll get more sideline interviews. We got a couple of them in, but there'll definitely be more next year.
Yeah, we need like a dedicated shit talking cam.
I did get a little cocky at the end when I started. I hit a couple threes and I just like was pointing at Jeb on the bench. I think I was attacking him specifically a lot.
If I wasn't cramping up, I would have fought you.
My favorite thing about your cockiness Clee games was after a banked 3, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, your team went like 4 for 4 on banked 3s in that game.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter how it gets in as long as it's in.
Unless it's being live streamed, then it matters.
Yeah, guys. So there was a point too where you had it'd gone off Clegane's foot out of bounds. You were like clapping it up in his face, like all up in
he pushed me, he shoved me out of bounds.
Dude, I'm 5'7", 140. We just saw an Avenger photo shared with us. That I was bumping you. Are you kidding me, dude?
I had my back turned. You caught me off guard.
Me and Dream Shaker combined are a third of you.
In height and weight.
That was great.
Quick note: how many people watched the full broadcast back?
Not the whole thing.
I mean, I don't know how many.
I have to find the gaps.
Right.
I got to be better next year as the producer.
Yeah. So on our end, clearly, since you guys didn't see all of it, it was kind of a shit show at times. Like,
oh yeah, was it? I had no idea.
Oh yes.
I saw Patrick ran over. It was like my phone's dying. I got to record. I gave him my portable so he could run around with it as he was recording. I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I don't have to watch this. Right
now. Oh yeah, no, it was like the comment section was constantly Blair Witch. Like we basically had 3 angles. We had Patrick's angle. We had Dream Shake's angle, which was because it was coming from his stream, was like 5 or 10 seconds off. So like when we would go to that part, we'd have a 5 to 10 second delay in broadcasting that part.
It was like instant replay,
more or less, without knowing what happened. But
then
yeah, it's
go
fine.
back and then miss the play.
Yeah,
it was like the timing was a little off from it.
It's fine. Like it'll get better next year. But definitely and. To Patrick's credit, he tried to get 3 different camera people for the event, and all of them bailed.
Yeah, that's.
So it's not like he didn't put in the effort on the backside to make it work. It's just, unfortunately, we had to resort to streams.
I think it makes it better. The way that it ended up is funnier, in my opinion.
And
that's true.
Huge credit to you, to Tandy, to the Rare Moment, to Caleb, to Jacob for all you guys jumping on and working with what you had and keeping it going instead of just being like, okay, we're just going to stop here. Like it was, I actually dropped Mike and TST off at their hotel. And then I drove to the airport. I didn't go to bed. And I just sat at the airport and watched the whole stream through while I was waiting. And you guys did a really good job. Like for real. So like props to you. And then this is just setting the bar low. Like, next year, there's so much more improvement and you can compare the two. Yeah.
Next year we'll have Top Shot pay for professionals.
Top Shot's a generational product, and
we're still in beta, guys.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was. I appreciate that. It was funny because Tandy hit me up via DM, I guess, like 2 hours before the show. It was like, "Hey, I know you're going to jump on." I was like, "Have you done play-by-play before?" And he's like, "No." Like, how hard can it be? I'm like, it's incredibly hard. Like, you've never done this before and you're going to do it for 3 hours? I was like, let me jump on with you. We can figure this out.
It was good. It was legit.
We made it work.
Good.
You guys had great commentary for the parts that I did watch, especially when I made a 3 and you guys all went nuts. I really appreciated that.
No, listening to you guys talk shit was hilarious.
That's all I did.
It was very good.
It was funny.
Tandy was putting me down. He's like, I didn't see Clegane's doing anything this game.
I know.
I was like,
and
all
then they
right,
ended up
man.
with 20 and 10. It was what it was. It was basically like, praise JPEG trainer, give MBL some shit, make fun of ALXO's jump shot, like all the good things.
What was the shit? I didn't watch it back yet. What was the shit that was being talked about me?
Great. Really, it was me just being like, I'm not like MBO's playing great, but I'm just not seeing a lot there right now. Like, what? Where are the points? Where are the assists? Like, what are we doing?
Dream Shake, he's got some good defense. He was running around hustling too.
Yeah, no,
I in there. MBL made it hard. Had to guard JPEG trainer. That wasn't very easy. It was pretty gassed by the end, but I'm gonna do what I can do against.
I've one complaint about JPEG trainer. One complaint. I had a behind the back pass too. It was gonna be my lifetime basketball highlight. You had a wide open 3 and you missed off the back rim. It was a good looking shot, but it didn't go in. And it would have been my best basketball highlight of my life.
And recorded on YouTube for eternity.
I will say too, we went back on defense or offense whenever we come back down the court, and NBL was like, "That was my highlight. That was my highlight."
This would be like Jordan Farmar talking shit to Kobe because he missed one shot.
Yes. No, Derek Fisher is the role that I feel like I played.
No,
I
man.
don't know
I
if you
think
can call
you're more like
yourself
the
Fisher,
CP
buddy.
role. I think you're downplaying your role in that game a bit too much because you were the ball handler every time the ball came up the court. You know what I mean?
That defaulted to me as the shortest guy. That Zakarian knows it well. We automatically become point guard because it's like there's nowhere else we can put you.
Yeah, I gotta say, meeting you two in person and like seeing the height difference there, it's hard to tell on camera sometimes. Like not trying to focus on that, but I was like, especially Zakarian, I was like, damn, dude, you're short as hell.
Dude, that I like for you not to be able to pick up on that before meeting me. That's on you.
I mean, I had
had
an idea, but like that's why I asked you to let me jump over you in the dunk contest. Because it was
it was good.
The easiest thing I could do.
It was a good jump.
Dude, there were actually some shots there that we missed. Like there were some technical difficulties. There was a dunk that we completely missed. Did someone jump over Mike?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yeah. He actually cleared you, like testicles.
Oh,
and all?
I was like snuggling.
he was basically
Mike's
on
not
the ground.
that short.
Yeah, I was hugging my knees.
Well, I asked Jeb, and Jeb didn't trust me, so I was like, "All right, Mike, you gotta let me jump over you."
No, you weigh 5 times as much as me.
Was the wedgie talked a lot about on stream? The wedgie in the game?
Oh, yeah, we did. We talked about that.
I've got the wedgie shirt on actually right now. This is the No Dunks boys.
No Dunks. Shout out to Jay Skeets and Trey Kirby and the other guys, Ellis and
Taz Reynolds.
There you go.
I
mispronounce the Greek guy's name all the time. But my fault to cut you off.
No, go.
So I DM'd Trey Kirby way before the thing, way before the event happens. He follows me back. So I was like, his DMs are open. Like, let me try to slide. So I hit him up and he was like, we can't make it. I tried to somehow try to get them involved or something. Like they each coach each one of the teams or something.
Oh, that would be dope.
Coach, I don't know. I was trying to get them involved and he was like, I'll support it, blah, blah, blah. Like, if he'll retweet or something like that. And I didn't bother him about it. Didn't even hit them up. And then the wedgie actually happens in the game. And I had to tag him and everything. And then they retweeted on No Dunks. And I think Jay Skeets retweeted and Trey did and stuff. So it all worked out. And they gave it some love. So the wedgie, basketball cultures and everything. And, of course, that came out there.
Skeets added me in that tweet that he sent out about the wedgie, and I had people who aren't in Top Shot but follow No Dunks send it to me and they're like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah, holy shit, they're talking about a bad shot of mine that already was live streamed that I wasn't, and then now it's like, cool, let's get it in front of 300,000 people real quick to be like, hey, look at that 37-year-old chucking it in between the rim and the backboard. Isn't that sick?
Yeah, I mean, knowing what you know now, is there anything you would do differently to prepare for the next game?
I would have won.
What you would have won, but
I would have tried to win. No,
so you weren't trying. Okay.
No. I would try. No, the one thing that I've learned so far, and it was highlighted last. I made 2 mistakes. One I will blame on the Hall of Fame themselves, and then the second is on me. I think for the 3-point contest, that was an ungodly height in that rack. All right. The middle rack at the top of the key was the top rack was like 6'4". Okay.
He was like reaching over trying to get the ball.
Yeah. Andre the Giant would have been on tippy toes getting up to get that.
I mentioned that on stream. Like, it was very unfair to you.
Yeah.
I tried to rack it for you. I tried to help you.
Round 2 was in a better spot. It was in a better spot. But I should have been on the other side of the top of the key rack. That was a mistake. I was pulling from the left, and then all the other racks I was pulling from the right. I should have gone on the other side. But those are my 2 mistakes. That's what I would have done.
Oh, here we go.
So Zakarian, just to be clear, your 2 mistakes are not winning and blaming the Hall of Fame. That's what we're doing?
Yeah, well, no, but I should have gone on the other side of the rack.
His third mistake is just not being tall enough to get the ball out of the rack.
Yeah. That's genetics, though. We can't do anything about that.
This round 2?
No, this is round 1 because look at how fucking high those balls are.
All right,
That's
so
at
if you're
pro
5'7",
level.
the rack is 5'3".
Mike's 5'4", so
Look, he's talking about it. Yeah, he's pointing to it.
The top of the rack and the top of the head do look like scarily similar.
It definitely was high on that rack.
Yeah. I just shout out everyone else for sucking in the first round so I can get through to the second round.
So
the best part is that Mike's like, oh yeah, wait till the next round, boys. Wait till the next round. And then he does it.
This was actually my favorite part. It was Mike takes the camera and doesn't realize that it's not flipped.
But the whole time it wasn't flipped?
No, the whole time it wasn't.
The whole
flipped.
time.
I didn't see that.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And you see, there was even a time I tried to. There was a time during this I was like, oh, I should double check to make sure this is flipped. And then I looked and I thought it was good. I can see Mike directing it right now.
So I was like trying to gauge how many went in by like your reactions.
Not enough.
I think maybe that was Joe shooting. I don't even know.
It was, yeah. Wow, dude, so sorry to Joe, man. Joe put in all this hard work, and there was
Sponsored by Floaty and Moment Ranks and Ballers.
Yeah, that's what Mike's doing. He's showing off the advertisers.
He is.
So here's I think this is round 2. Is it? Hold on. Yeah, this is round 2.
This is round 2.
This is when Mike gets wet.
This is when you popped off?
Yeah, this is when he popped off.
This was actually really cool to watch.
How do I make this bigger?
That's what she said.
Yeah, the energy was
Obvious, that's
electric.
what she said.
Like, honestly, when Mike started hitting these shots, he hits the first 3.
It got loud.
Misses the money, but
see, gotta go around the other side.
Everyone was just locked.
Oh, see, Joe didn't know. He didn't know. None of you guys knew that. That was hilarious.
It's so funny, Joe. I'm sorry, man. That's me.
Shout out to Joe. Joe was great.
Joe was really
super nice guy.
He's solid. He runs events all the time. So like he knew what needed to get done. He knew that group shot.
Like I rocked that one for you, just so you know. Like I'm not trying to take credit for your like great performance, but like I don't know.
No, I wouldn't be where I am today without you.
Oh, thanks. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
See, this just shows like the camaraderie, like sportsmanship between the two teams, right? We're enemies on the court, but then we help each other out. You let me jump over you. I rack your balls for you.
Yeah, it's good.
Also note how much time Zakarian's taking in between shots.
Listen,
he's taking like a good 3 or 4 seconds to get set and draining everyone. But are we going to time this or next year? What are we doing?
I asked 2 questions at the beginning. I said, "Is this what 3-point line are we shooting from? And is there a timer?" And it started at 110, I think. And then Patrick was like, "Nah, no timer." And I was like, "Let's settle in, baby. Let's settle in each track."
I think that's the way to do it.
Is that the guy in the back that didn't hit record? Is that?
Yo, that cameraman right there in the background walking around with this camera.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. So he has 0 footage of anything. 0.
I looked at him so many times throughout the game.
I swear to God, he has nothing from the event. This is what happened, and I don't know what to do because it was every cameraman pulled out and said, "I can't make it." He shows up, it doesn't have an SD card, or something went wrong. And it's
I have so many questions about that dude. Mostly that you come to this event and you see a bunch of middle-aged dudes shooting hoops, and you're like, "Why is this being recorded?" Would be the first question. And then the second question is, the NFT All Star game, what the fuck is that, and why am I recording it? The 17-year-old didn't know what he got himself into. Didn't get any footage anyway.
He's a high school kid, but I mean, he's got an Instagram page where he goes and records and makes highlight reels for other people and stuff. And someone put me on.
People with talent, though. People with talent.
But regardless, at least he presses record and it works. So next year we're gonna find people who can be entrusted with the record button. And yeah,
he probably did it on purpose. He just saw us shooting around, warming up. He's like, I'm not recording this shit.
Like that,
I'm doing these guys a favor by not allowing this to be
Yeah.
seen by the public in HD.
But yeah, it kind of took away a lot of shots that would be good for all the plans that I had for everything. Like honestly, without Joe's shots too. Joe has a ton of shots that I've never seen or he didn't send me. So I got to hit Joe up, my Tandy, the guy who was on earlier. He took a bunch of stuff, took over the camera, saved the stream, and saved my ass in a way because I felt like you guys are all content creators, and I promised that I would record your content. And when it's not being done, I feel like I did you guys a disservice. So I want to make sure that that's handled the next year because I don't want anybody feeling like they wasted their time for nothing. So.
That's good, Chewy.
You did great.
I press record in their bio. Yeah, I need to find somebody who does that. So,
yeah.
No,
if there's anyone who deserves flowers here, it's you, Patrick. Like the fact that you pulled that off and that it went as smoothly as it did is amazing. The fact that we all got to like meet and hang out in person and like have a great time because of like your hard work, like just hats off to you. I'm so privileged to like have that opportunity to meet you and to meet everyone else and to like have this once in a lifetime experience. I never thought I was going to play a game at the NBA Hall of Fame. I don't deserve to be on that court. Like, yeah.
Also,
the dinner after, organize the dinner too.
I was about to say that. Shout out Top Shot for covering there. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure the bill was.
I was gonna make Alexo pay because like he's like got the most moments. I was like, yo, you got this, right?
the Dumbo and Jacob made sure we had full stomachs and we left happy. So definitely big shout out to Top Shot for making sure we got fed after and everything. And Jacob coming on the show was huge. Plunge Father came on the show. I want to give a special shout out because I got my Cool Cats hoodie on and the hat and. Plunge, start of the 9 Lives Lounge and everything. You did great. Start of the merch. All of this it's pushing and driving innovation within this company that is probably maybe a little more Web 2 than Web 3. And I think this great community is embodying what Web 3 is and writing the script. And we're kind of dictating where the future of this community goes. And I think Plunge is an innovator in that. And we're going to continue revolutionizing what content creating is in this space.
Beautiful. That was amazing.
Well, next year it'll just be holograms running around playing. I'll be controlling with the controller. So
Plunge made this silly t-shirt that went on Amazon, and now Top Shot's sending everyone that because there was competition and they see the void. You know what I'm saying? So maybe next year, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you started like a potential like years long tradition like with this NFT All Star game, and like this could be happening for years to come, which is something really awesome. And you're the like creator of it all, so
no matter what, we're gonna all be together the next year. If you guys want to be there, it's gonna be set up.
Yeah, and you helped propel JPEG Trainer and James Tilson into stardom. It's only matter of
these
time
guys
now.
really are for real. And the thing is, I want to say JPEG Trainer started off as Koala Trainer. PFPs offer utility. We're talking about utility now with stuff. So the koalas, I don't know, Kia Koala Intelligence Agency, they hired JPEG Trainer to be the personal trainer for koalas. And they were giving out 50 memberships at the time and trying to expand this workout program and provide stuff to their community. And that's where Koala Trainer started. And eventually he realized he shouldn't just subject himself to one community. He should be able to go to any profile picture Discord. He should be able to go to Bored Apes. And they basically, you know what I'm saying? You should go to, I don't know too much of these PFPs. I'm not really too into it. But he did that and captured this audience and completely changed the game. And he's selling workout plans to profile picture companies that want to give their customers utility. Like he has paved his own path in this space and has done some really cool things. We also went to high school together and we started Top Shot. He started before me. He started in January. I started in February. We went through this whole journey together and figured out what an NFT really is. And it's been amazing to see his growth in business and everything. And he helped sponsor the game too. Move. This is his NFT company now. He went from Koala Trainer, training 50 people or whatever, to starting his own company and and I couldn't give you the biggest shout out, man, because I couldn't give you a bigger shout out.
Nah, man, Patrick, I appreciate you. After the game, I got so many DMs. I'm like, wait, am I like famous now or something? I was like, I'm not used to
NFT
this,
famous.
but yeah, no, it was a really crazy experience. I mean, I didn't expect to be here. Kind of a little history of my experience in the space. When I started with Top Shot, and then I started like dabbling into some PFP NFTs. And I noticed on Twitter that everyone was really smart with like analytics and all these like words I don't understand. And I'm like, you know what? You guys need to drink more water, get away from your computer, exercise, like just simple things. And then it was just me just kind of rambling on Twitter, and everyone just loved it. They're like, wow, this is great. Like, you just encouraged me to go to the gym. And I'm like, well, yeah, you should. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. So I just kind of owned that. And then in this one group I was in, the founder reached out to me to do some training within the community. And it was a really cool experience. You know what I mean? I was helping out a lot of people, but I didn't want to be restricted in that one space. So I started Move, where we kind of reach out to anybody in the Web3 area that's looking for a community of people who are trying to get back in shape. And when I heard about this event, I knew it was going to be a lot of personalities like yourselves, people who, you know, played sports in the past, but it's been removed for a couple of years. And I'm like, you know, this is exactly what Move is about, right? It's not about even the workout plans that I make. It's not like you're in the gym 5-day splits. Like, I have a step challenge coming up, right? We're telling people to take 10,000 steps a day, just to get away from your computer, just to like step outside. You know what I mean? It's the digital age we're in now. It's kind of consuming, and it's really demanding. So kind of that's Move's journey. But yeah, it was great to be on this floor and play basketball. It's funny. I was telling my mom about it, and she was laughing because I'm a soccer player, and she thinks I suck at basketball. I'm like, I'm actually pretty damn good. You should see my highlights.
Yeah, send her the link.
Yeah,
YouTube, man.
But yeah, Pack Drip, we're both from Springfield. Like, to be able to play in the Basketball Hall of Fame, like I grew up right next to the Basketball Hall of Fame my whole life, right? So like stepping in there and having my banner up there, it was honestly the craziest moment. And then, you know, there's a whole event from the NFT All Star game. You just can't make this up. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting though, because like when someone were to talk to me about, you know, NFT communities and getting in shape, it feels like those two things are polar opposites.
Yeah, they are. And that was my goal of like, they're so different. So I'm like, how can I find a way where they are alike, right? Like there has to be a place where, you know, people can go somewhere. It's like, okay, we're going to talk about health and fitness in a digital demanding space, right? It's really odd, but there's a need for that. And there's, you know, community of people looking for workout plans. Click Gaines, he was, like you said, he's an Avenger 5 years ago. So maybe jump into my Discord.
Yeah, I need to get a workout plan from you, because I've fallen.
No, I need to get one from you. Are you serious?
I'll give you the secret sauce. I got you.
Is it the clear or the cream?
Listen.
It's a Barry Bonds joke.
I got it. The nuanced Barry Bonds joke. Deep cut. Sure.
Wait, wasn't Barry Bonds snubbed from the Hall of Fame? Right?
He does. Yeah. He did. Yeah. He was snubbed. I think that's
tragic.
Kind of bullshit.
Tragic.
I agree. Clemens should be in too, by the way.
All those guys should be in. It's ridiculous. He's one of the
greatest.
greatest.
Tell me Babe Ruth wasn't juicing back then. I'm sure like all those guys were, like, you know, but that's a whole other topic.
Clemens won 3 Cy Youngs before he even started doing steroids. Like,
he got drafted in the NBA too. He got drafted by the Celtics or Supersonics, I think.
Supersonics, I believe.
Supersonics,
I didn't know
right?
that.
Yeah,
and his son
what a fact.
played with the Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that. Anyhow, tops wooden coins.
Wax.
So Dream, what were some matchups you were looking at, and what are you thinking about doing next year?
Oh, well, I guess we got to set up some kind of an offense, right? It was funny because I wanted to play a bit more with Mike, but I think he had a pretty good analysis where two of us short guys probably shouldn't be on the floor at the same time.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a way to plan around that, right? I think stretching the floor would be nice to be able to have some guys on corners that pull the defense out. The tough part about their team was that they basically like helped on like defense for everything. So a lot of times you thought that you had an open shot, but then Clegaines is coming out with a block. And so the intuitive thing is to maybe like pass the ball there, but oops, he's going up and getting like a swat or top shot talk. So I guess like, you know, kind of ironing out those things ahead of time. The overhelp is probably something that
we had some hype besides you guys having Tilson, I think. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to remember like who else. I mean, Veerman's decently tall too. But you guys also had like, you were subbing a lot. Like you guys had a full bench, whereas we didn't. So we were kind of just all on the, and then we had our, you know, we had 2 guys get hurt, so then we really like couldn't really sub after that. So we were all on the court at the same time, like for the entirety of the game. Which, by the way, I don't think anyone's mentioned this. We played 4 12-minute quarters. Like that was a long time. Like I have not done that much like active cardio in literal years. Probably maybe not ever, but yeah, it was tough.
See Truth actually ran and play on the bench.
Yeah, I remember that.
We tried it; it didn't work, but it was close.
Yeah, I got coaching boards for everybody, so in case they want to drop a play.
He was pulling up YouTube clips, like, "Oh, this is what we're gonna run." I was like,
there was a YouTube clip on the bench. He's like, "Okay, everyone goes."
Yeah,
is it a Brad Stevens out of bounds play? Those are Colin's favorites.
It actually was.
Dude.
Oh my god.
I hung out with him a lot at the dinner that night. Dude's so funny. Big. I'm happy to lose to him. Honored to lose to him in the 3-point contest.
He's so great.
Oh, it's funny, dude.
Our strategy was to walk it up the court most times, except for when JPEG Trainer wanted to run, we threw it to JPEG Trainer. Otherwise, it was to walk it up the court because we were huffing and puffing out there.
That was the plan, but then we stopped. Everyone started running fast break offense, and I was like, "Guys, we're up 30. Let's relax."
Yeah,
I'm tired.
Slow down, boys.
I felt like I don't know. Maybe JPEG Trainer can confirm or deny, but it felt like near the end of the game, you were like one of those boxers who like decides that they have to score get points on the scorecard if they're going to take the MVP home. All of a sudden, you had the ball in like 3 straight possessions. You're like going behind the back, like Kyrie Irving spin move. Is that what was going on there?
I tell you what, right? So I've never played in an organized basketball game in my life. So I like this was my moment. I
don't believe that for a second.
All right, let's get Mike. I need your end credit clip, Mike.
Right
listen. Hey, ask. I think it was Kaglanes, right? So I was playing. I play pickup basketball sometimes, but I think the first foul was on Mike, and you know how you have to set up on the sides, like one.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck do I stand? I'm like, I'm all over the place, right? So I don't really know the technicalities of it, but during the end of the game, I'm like, I want to know what it feels like when you have an NBA player who's just hot and he's just shooting and he just can't miss. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're up 30 points. I'm not passing for the next 4. I'm just not. I really don't care. We won. I want to just shoot it, and it kept going in. And I'm like, this is not real. I showed all my friends.
Like I finally know what Kobe feels like.
Yeah. I walked past the Kobe exhibit. I'm like, I want to know what it feels like to just keep hitting those. Yeah,
it's like one of those like Disney movies where like you go past and you like touch it and like Kobe's picture comes alive and he like talks to you and like goes.
You guys
to
ever watch Like Mike?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
So you were, what was that, like Bow Wow? Was that a Bow Wow movie?
It is a Bow Wow movie.
So you were Bow Wow.
And Jonathan Lipnicki. Don't disrespect the god.
Who was Jonathan Lipnicki in this story then?
I don't know. Zakarian probably, given the height.
I think JPEG, like, he just realized that everyone was gassed that was on the court and was like, this is my moment. Like, I'm the only one in cardiovascular shape right now, so I'm just going to run up and down the court.
He was the only real athlete on the court.
No,
I did sense that, but honestly, I won't lie. After the third quarter, I was a bit shook, right? And I know NBL was too. He kind of gave us he stopped smiling and started saying, like, guys, come on, let's play. It got really serious because they made a comeback, right? They had
they got to within 12. Let's not mess around.
And NBL stopped smiling. I'm like, oh shit, we actually got to do this.
I thought we were just going to crumble in the fourth quarter because we had 7 people, but then it kind of became 6 with C-Truth bowing out. And I was worried we were going to crumble in the fourth quarter, but we hung in there.
Hitting the shots, that was insane. Everyone was hitting. So.
And what about Jeb? Like, I know in the beginning you seemed incredibly serious. When I saw you in the beginning there, you reminded me. I said it to Mike. You reminded me of like the guy in Full Metal Jacket when he like loses his mind in Vietnam and he's just like, like I thought like that's like a good sign. Jeb's about to go off.
Bobby Portis. He was.
So two things. One, I mean, I haven't played. I used to be pretty damn good in high school. I could dunk. I played a lot of basketball. Wow. But I haven't played in like 8 years. So that's one. 2, I got in that like mindset because I mean, Kobe's my idol. So I was like, you know what? If I want to play, like I want to put up, like, I don't want to embarrass myself. So I got in that mindset and I was ready. And then we sat for an hour and a half. So all that work was for nothing.
Yeah, I think
that in a dunk contest or a 3-point contest.
The odds of tearing an ACL will probably like go up every year if we keep having like an hour and a half break between.
Someone's definitely tearing an ACL. Regardless,
Guys, don't put that out there because it's gonna be me. So just don't put it out there.
I'm calling a spade here.
My big ass gonna come down and
happen.
just yeah.
I clearly need to get in better shape. That was a wake up. It was a wake up call that one, I probably could get my body to the way it was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like it's not forever lost, which was nice. But it's also as a wake up call that holy cow, you're not even close to in as shape as you thought. Like you're so delusional.
So I have a proposal for next year, right? For the game structure, we did 4 12-minute quarters. Maybe we do 4 games up to 15 to prevent any blowouts. And then if we tie, if it's 2-2, last game is like up to 11 or something, right? So if someone goes 15-0, at least you have a chance to, get back into it. Halftime, the game's not over. So
like it.
Are we
talking
talk
to Commissioner Patrick?
Not 2s and 3s.
We'll have to see if it passes the board.
1s and 2s. Yeah, 1s and 2s.
3s and 4s.
I don't know. Then we have to do 4 jerseys. Is it like the Rising Stars game? Then there's 4 jerseys, 4 teams, and we all do these mini games and stuff. I don't know how crazy we're gonna get with it.
It depends on the production that we have. Like if Dapper's sending like full like movie quality cameras and shit like that. I don't know.
This time I'm gonna be prepared. I've already bought 1 camera and I got my eyes on 2 more. I mean this next year I'm not worried about it. I bought a GoPro that I couldn't even get figured out and get going. So like I even got that in the tuck that I could put on a ref, and we have extra angles and stuff next year. Yeah.
So start training now, everyone, is what he's saying. Like if you're not in the gym now, you gotta be.
I'll wear my phone around my neck on a chain while I play.
That's a good idea. You could only do that for 5 seconds.
You'll miss jumpers instead of dunks. I mean,
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I actually do have some topics. If you guys want to talk some like Top Shot topics,
Wade playing dumb to what Top Shot was after Zaire Wade and him. Zaire Wade had a whole big welcome party, and then Dwayne Wade got his own packs. And then when he sees a Top Shot moment, he says it's a Coinbase NFT.
Yeah, he was wine drunk. He was
All Star activations. You're going to see it in the game or something like this and all that. And we get a chain for 5 seconds that he barely wears, and it's not even called the right thing by another sponsor. It's like that's what this whole All Star thing. That was the anticipation.
Where are you? There you are.
Oh.
I feel like we have a good like distribution of people who are very like soft and gentle on whatever Top Shot gets wrong, and then we have a couple of the more crankies.
This one drives me up a wall. I feel like it could have been figured out a little bit better. Like he didn't practice dunking with it once in advance to know that if he could do it or not. Like for him to put it on, it looked like that was the first time he ever wore that chain in the dunk contest.
Maybe he didn't want to break it.
He didn't realize, I can't move in this thing. Like I agreed to it, but I can't move in this. So
it's got to be one of the cringiest things I've ever seen in my life.
I thought it was going to be a GoPro. They were going to turn the dunk into a moment, and then one of the angles was the GoPro angle. I was like, this is what I was trying to do in the dunk contest.
You should have had a GoPro on each wrist, GoPro on the head, GoPro on the chest.
Literally, 2K like
yeah.
They could have did some weird extra stuff, even if it was
all the ping pong balls.
That would have been hilarious.
My thing is that like when the UFC did a similar thing, like you didn't see the fighters obviously with it on while they were performing. So like I was okay with him putting the chain on, taking it off. Like would I have liked to see more about it?
It was a little locket.
Yeah, it was more of an Apple Watch.
8 Plus.
Yeah, that was definitely definitely interesting.
The whole point about the dunk contest is you're supposed to put on a show. So he made this big deal about putting the chain on, and then he took it right off. Well, then you're just doing a regular dunk. Like I don't know if I'm supposed to blame Top Shot or Jalen Green or
that's what I'm saying.
He missed. He shot 22% in a dunk contest. Like,
there was a lack of like production, I think, just overall in this dunk contest. Like there wasn't anyone jumping over cars like Blake Griffin was doing. Like we didn't see Dwight Howard, ripping his shirt off with a Superman cape on. Like it just felt.
Prepared.
It felt like unprepared almost.
He took 5 minutes to put Tim's on. He's clearly not from New York.
Yeah, why didn't he wear Why didn't he wear the Tims before? Yeah,
why didn't he wear the Tims? Didn't someone go before him? We had to watch him.
Well, the thinking is that you're like basically making a New York moment, I think was the thought process.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought about the reality of that. Clearly,
he had to have practiced dunking in Tim's before he.
Oh, I'm sure he
No,
did.
but he
But I'm
didn't
saying like the
practice putting
process
them
of
on.
like the process of physically putting them on, it like right before the dunk, whatever. Like not ideal.
This is
Most
a
of it just
75th
like
go
from an
around.
activation point of view, didn't make sense. One, the TNT wasn't prepared for it. Like while they might not be a partner, they are a broadcast partner. You would have expected someone from Top Shot to be like, "Hey, we're doing this activation, shooting you guys a heads up." They don't need TNT to do it, but like, it was helpful. Coinbase didn't need the promo, right? So like,
so funny. Dwayne Wade was drunk. That's my like theory.
Yeah,
for the
I'm
day.
done.
There's some photos floating around on the internet right now.
He's a wine connoisseur, so like I
Is
wouldn't
this
be
his third
surprised.
dunk contest he's ruined? Well, as a Top Shot fan first, but I included in there. He ruined that. We look forward to it. This was supposed to be a big announcement that they announced. Jalen Green dunk contest. Wait till you see. Wait till you see. Everyone's buying into this dunk contest. They even have a set coming out, Rim Rockers, that's supposed to be because of this, because they predicted him winning the dunk contest, but never fit him for the chain while he's dunking. It's just like,
yeah.
I can't say it.
Definitely a little weird.
Half-baked at best.
We had our own snafus with production with the All Star game. This isn't our 75th shot at it, but I definitely think they could have tried to dunk with the chain on.
It was funny. It felt like Reggie Miller was clowning Wade every 5 minutes about him like screwing up the dunk contest 2 years ago where he like put an 8 for like a 10 dunk.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was good.
I posted that they should just lower the rim to 9 feet next year. Like it'll just be more fun. I think like overall.
I mean, true, but at the same time, we've had some incredible dunk contests in the past. I mean, the recent past not so incredible, but that would feel a little.
The talent's not there anymore, apparently, because no one could do any flashy. I mean, how many dunks can you realistically like make up after all these years? Like you're just repeating things like with a slight tweak. I think.
Doesn't John Morant make up like 5 of them a night?
Basically.
He wasn't in the dunk contest.
Toppin had some good dunks. Obi Toppin had some good dunks. His dunks got ruined by everyone else because he did it the first or second time, and then immediately Jalen Green misses 11. So you're like, oh, like Obi Toppin, whatever. This guy is ruining the dunk contest.
Jalen Green's performance was like if someone throws up at a party. It just like killed the vibe immediately. It's like, all right, well now we got to start taking things seriously because this guy's out of control. And now like it was so
Everyone's
bad.
sober up now. Yeah.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I don't know how much I blame Top Shot for that stuff. Like, I don't know how much control you have over Jalen Green not sucking or like Dwayne Wade doing that, right? Like, I don't know how much control they have over that. They do have control over figuring out what the fuck's going on with the challenges, but besides that, like the dunk contest itself, it's like I don't know. I mean, the biggest thing is don't be like, you're not gonna believe what you see this All-Star weekend, right? Yeah. Just don't do that. Just be like, holy shit, look, it's Jalen Green putting on a weird necklace and then taking it off and then missing 20 dunks. Then we're not like, oh, why did you tell us? You know what I mean? And it's always that. It's always that.
Expectation raising.
Both Jalen Green and Top Shot overpromised and underdelivered.
And then D Wade during the promo, he starts just talking over like when they're talking about Top Shot like at the end, like, and he just starts, he's like, this dunk contest sucked. Like D Wade was clearly like sipping a little bit too much like between breaks or something because he was just unhinged.
He had that Lambrusco in his like little side pocket and he was going a little too hard on it. But you know, what can you do? At least we saw the real commercials.
They're still tonight.
Yeah, they're still tonight. Save tonight. Tonight, what's it called? The break of dawn.
Yeah, you got it, dude. Eli Cherry, baby.
But yeah, we saw like Ernie Johnson call out Top Shot. We had like the Top Shot little emblem at the top in the highlights. So there's plenty of opportunities for that to go the right way. And hopefully Dwayne Wade just loses his job because who likes Dwayne Wade anyway? Come on. Other than Dream Shaker.
Anymore.
I know Dream Shaker loves Dream Wade, but
Dwayne Wade's overrated.
He's gonna become like the most hated Top Shot like moment now after this. Everyone's
he already rugged us.
I mean, he didn't
Dwayne
rug
Wade's
us.
a wannabe Kobe. That's all he'll ever be.
This is turning into a roasting of D Wade session right now.
You know what'd be great is if someone bought like 300 D Wades and used them as trade tickets.
I think that's already. I think that's happened on a larger scale. Honestly, there's probably 3,000 of them in the locker room.
Absolutely, it'd be great to get a trade ticket pack of just D Wades.
I think there's a very high chance of that.
Don't worry, you're gonna get a randomizer issue. People on Twitter after that.
Not wrong.
The randomizer's broken. No, there's just a million D Wade moments in these packs.
Do you guys think Top Shot was going to be like in the All Star game the way they were at the Summer League?
I think they're
there.
No, they're not. They're in a different building. They're in somewhere else. They're in like a hall that was rented to.
Well, yeah, the exhibition hall.
That's where everything is.
The crossover.
They
That's
can't
where all the
just go and
vendors are.
set up shop.
No, I'm saying like at the All Star game, there's booths and stuff around the arena. You could always rent booth space.
Yeah, but from a marketing perspective, it can get a little more difficult. I'm not sure how much they were spending on like physically being at the All Star game. Like those activations
on that chain.
But what about that? What about the Sour Patch Kid thing? That's physical.
Sour Patch.
Yeah, I was a little confused about that.
I'm sure you guys saw it though. The numbers were really good this weekend.
But hold on, I wanted to talk about that. So we saw like the buyers go higher than the sellers. But couldn't that also just be a bunch of people tapping their girlfriend to log in again to get a free slam dunk moment?
Why does everybody go back to that? Do all of you guys have girlfriends? Like, to me, it's always wild that's everybody. Like, we refuse to believe new people can come on because we're like, oh, don't worry, my girl got on, my dog got on. Like, why is that everybody's first fucking go-to? It's wild to me.
But tell me something. Was that perceivably happening when Aja Wilson thing happened and every username was like Baked Coconut 78? You know, like
I mean, sure, it's possible that was part of it.
What's that? Sorry, Mike.
No, sorry, Clee Gaines, you go. I've been yelling a lot. Somebody else go.
No. I'm sure there are people that have been inactive for a while that see, hey, do anything in the marketplace, buy a $2 moment, and you get a free one. I'm sure that's part of it, but also, I think Live Token posted that there was like 47,000 new users or something like that since they started doing the QR codes on TNT. So I mean, that's a big number right there. Like, yeah, 50,000 in the grand scheme of things, like, doesn't sound like a lot, but that's fresh blood, people that are taking the time to learn about a new product, something that they may not be familiar with whatsoever, like in NFT land in general. And this is just the beginning, right? Like, yes, this is like the big game for NBA, but we still have playoffs, finals. This is a good testing period, I think, for Top Shot overall, and like learn from mistakes that happen here. Like, maybe don't have D-Wade doing any announcing, or don't let him be in charge of that. And then, finals come around, and there's a lot more eyeballs watching finals than the All-Star game.
Remove Dwayne Wade from the top 75 players of all time.
Whoa. Yo, these are like the worst basketball takes ever. Like, I'm trying to. This is like among like the worst. Like, I mean, we got to just
the pitchforks,
like, basketball like conversation. Like, I don't know. This is like is horrible.
This must be the halftime of the stream right now.
It's as if like defense doesn't matter. He's like one of the highest shot blocking guards of all time, and yet you're talking about Kobe as if like he didn't like get like plastered up with like his all defense. I mean, that was the thing for many years where he was just getting voted into that award. So I mean, the other side of the ball.
We can't have Kobe slander on this.
No, I mean I love him, but there were a couple of those years where
kick him from the stream, Tandy.
It happens,
Well, should we do it? Let's do a little. We'll be right back.
That's incredible. I've never seen that before. That's great.
That's a little palate cleanser.
That one's rare.
Is that a new one?
Yeah.
I like that.
Actually, Time Lord helped me out with that. I was talking to him about it. He's like, "Yeah, why don't you send it to me?" So yeah, let's see.
That's great.
Incredible.
But anyhow, yeah, okay. Some of us love D-Wade, some of us don't.
Let's get back to the source of this. We still got some of you guys here. So from this, like meeting other content creators and stuff, do you think you're more like apt to go on their show or anything like that, or if they're going to come on yours, or do you feel like you cross collabed with anybody and that there's future content and future concepts that are coming out?
Yeah, someone just had a good point, by the way. A really good counterpoint to the earlier thing that I was saying, the people joining for the slam dunk moments. Who wants those slam dunk moments? Nobody.
I agree with that.
So point to Mike. I give the point to Mike. I succeed here. But go ahead, Backdrip. Your question is, do these guys feel more connected to the other content creators after seeing them live and in person, or perhaps less connected after like?
I would say to answer the question, way more connected. I mean, I already talked to Clee Gaines a ton. I talked to Mike. I talked to TST. I talked to all these guys a lot, but just meeting someone in person and being like, oh, you're not a psychopath. Like, you're kind of what you advertise is like, it's reassuring because you're like, oh, like yeah, this person's like just what I thought they were. Like, I would love to do more stuff with them. And I think we've seen it. TST has been popping on Team Hold more. I mean, me and Mike met in Vegas, so it doesn't really count. But like, even like people, I think the other cool thing is like, I had no idea who James was before, and like James, super cool guy. I didn't know who That's My Tandy was. I legitimately was like, who's this weird dude with like the picture of half? Like I was like the picture of half shaved, half not shaved. But Joe was super nice and super cool. So like, just getting to like I mean, just in general, all the people in this space tend to be incredible. You meet them in real life, and you just are waiting for someone to suck. And so far, it really hasn't happened.
Yeah, and we all met. Like, I think the event itself, like within the Hall of Fame, was super fun. But just like after that too, like everyone was kind of decompressed, and we weren't all just talking about Top Shot or Dapper. Like, we were just talking about our lives in general, like what we do outside of all this, like what we did prior to this being such a big part of our lives. And it was really cool to like be intimate and get close to one another. And you know, especially like some of the guys that, like, you know, we had Alexa, we had Veerman, MBL, you know, some big names within the community, and they were so like regular, chill, like humble, like not like, yeah, I'm the fucking number whatever collector in the world, right? It wasn't like that. Like, everyone had very like
hold on, I just had a really funny
humble yeah.
So like, what if you got there and like and Alexa had like a big like gold hat that said like number 3 collector or something like that?
I would have respected it because he deserves it, honestly. But
Well,
he's
I mean,
nice. He's so nice.
Yeah. Alexa's so nice. But Veerman, when we met, he like spit on me, and he was like, "Oh, you're poor. Like, you only collect common moments, like all that stuff."
Yeah. It's like, sorry, I don't speak poor, Jeb. Get on my level.
No, he couldn't even be on the same team.
I don't speak common, buddy. Okay.
They actually had I didn't put this part out, but at dinner, like, they had their own little like whale table, and we were at the kitty table after that.
Yeah. They're all just like spooning each other caviar.
Yeah. We got like the wings and the
pushed together, don't lie.
No, it was great. It really. I mean, like, I don't know how more apt I am to go on people's shows than I was before. I feel like if people will ask, I'll go on it. But like, it was just really cool to meet everybody. Like, Dream Shaker, I'd never met or really talked to either, and I got to talk with him quite a bit afterwards too. And we're both getting married like right around the same time, so it's fun to connect over that. James, I met your entire family, and I talked to them for like 90 minutes that night, and that was great.
I learned that you're a comedian somehow. I don't know how.
You mean, well, yeah, James, you mean somehow you learned that, or like somehow I am one? What's going on here, James? Dude,
it's a combo, bro. I didn't hear any jokes, but I didn't hear something you
Top Shot Tony.
Go full screen on this, James. Go ahead. Yeah, run that answer back. Would love to hear. Let's look at his eyes now.
What was the question again? I didn't hear the question again.
Tandy, are you what? I'm Tandy. I mean, James, are you in like a? What are you in, like a classroom, right? What kind are you in a?
I'm literally in like our engineering building. It's supposed to be like a graduate study room, but no one's in here, so I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
Nice, man.
Yeah, you know.
All right, we get him off full.
It looks a little like psychopath jail, like.
Yeah, it looks like someone needs to save.
Maybe I'll pull a couple of LDs and then we'll be all good. But so then this is what we got.
Did anybody have any I love you drunk rants?
Did anybody have one? Is that what you said?
I know I had one with Fleo. I really respect it because I went to college for sports journalism, made nothing out of it at all. I'm doing this as my side hobby and for fun, to be honest, because any other sports journalism job I applied for, I never got and stuff. Now I just work and I fund my hobby because it's truly what I love. I love basketball. I love the sports scene. I love the community about it and everything. But yeah, I ranted to Fleo. I'm like, yo, you're a college kid grinding every freaking day, bro. Every day you pump content, and like, I wish I had that drive even when I was like going to classes. I mean, I was doing my homework and all that other stuff, but like the drive he has, and if he wants to chase something in sports journalism or something, I just gave him that stamp. I'm like, bro, just keep grinding. I appreciate you, and community appreciates you. I'm drunk as hell. He's trying to leave, and I'm just like, bro, come here. Like, you got this. Keep going.
Fleo was a great kid.
He was.
Fleo was awesome. You know what? It was great having. I actually had James like on my show on Friday for the Rising Stars. I figured it'd be on brand to have one of our next generation guys on the platform to be on there, and it was awesome. And one thing I told him, it was really cool having his parents over there because I feel like that kind of support it's really tough in general, just breaking people to understand NFTs, but then to get your family on board to bring you over there. I mean, it's just that kind of support to have already right now at, you know, at his age is with that, you got like the whole like road ahead of you once you have that support behind you. So I thought that was really cool. And then we obviously hit it off on Friday. So he's going to be like a regular popping in. And I thought that was really cool. Just us being able to link up like that. And so, and obviously invites out to anybody here. And I mean, it was great getting to meet all you guys in person, honestly.
It was fun.
Great. So brand account wants to race his duck already. Brand account. Let me try to set that up on the
brand account. That sounds super legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's girlfriend just signed up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Lots of girlfriends on YouTube, Mike.
Mike is indeed a comedian, guy.
Hey guys, I have to dip, but I just wanted to. I know Patrick's still here, so I wanted to shout out Patrick one more time, dude. Thank you so much for bringing everybody together. It was like really. Oh yeah, full screen. This is how you freaking do it, James.
I don't do anything.
Look at that!
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's right, dude. Yeah, let's get
nice
closer.
camera.
Closer. Yeah. Thanks to Patrick for setting this up, and Tandy and Mike and everybody else that came on to stream that entire time. Like, legendary. But there's no one should have to do that for 3.5 hours, and you guys did it. And also to my Tandy, who I think I called Phil the entire weekend. Good to learn afterwards that it's Joe. Really great meeting you guys. And listen, I'm gonna stay full. Okay, good.
No, I was gonna leave you there until you leave.
All right, well, take it easy, guys.
Mike, before you leave, can we get one Top Shot Tony little cameo for the
people?
Yeah, let me see. This is Top Shot Tony's kind of like Batman, though. He like shows up when you need him.
Let me hear the question. Top Shot Tony, what are your thoughts on blended packs?
That's a good question.
Listen, I'm just finally glad somebody's asking Top Shot Tony the tough questions, okay? And the tough questions are these blended packs good for the economy? Are they good for me? Are they good for you? And the answer is no, because they are not being given out for free. Why are we paying for blended packs? Or should the price for blended packs be blended? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should pay 9, but someone else should pay 11, because depending on what comes in. You know what? Top Shot's dead, okay? Top Shot's dead. I'm taking all of my money and I'm putting it into Ballers because they respect me as a person. That's all I got right now.
That was great.
I will say a little promo. Top Shot Tony does have a video, I think, coming out this week, and it's pretty emotional. I think a lot of people are gonna. I think
is he liquidating his account? Like, what's he doing?
No, I mean, he's taking a note from the community, and I think he's gonna at Roham. That's all I'm gonna say. So he's following the lead from the people.
Top Shot Tony definitely needs a storyline involving him on like Twitter, making grand statements about how he's leaving and stuff like that. He definitely needs some of that.
Well, I think he tweeted out today he's gonna reveal who was responsible for the fishing thing that happened on OpenSea over the weekend. So that'll be a good space. So stay tuned.
All right, I'm looking forward to that.
But seriously, thanks for having me, guys, and it was good to see everybody again. Love you guys.
All right, Mike.
That's my drunk and I love you.
Oh yeah, Mike. Before you go,
yeah.
How'd you like how I put a picture of you with Josh, and then I photoshopped a mustache on you, and I said Top Shot Tony showed up to support Mike.
Yeah, it was very good.
Like the two of you.
It was
guys.
very good. It was very good. Tony.
I remember you said something on your show about people are buying the bit.
They are, yeah.
And people genuinely think Top Shot Tony's a real account, and you don't exist. Like, they don't see the connection.
I used to think that, like, at some point. I'm not gonna lie. I asked Jeff. I'm like, "Yo, is this Mike? Like, is this like?" He looks
DM'd me, and it was like, "Who is this Mike's account?"
No, seriously, the replies to if you want real comedy, it's not Top Shot Tony's tweets; it's the replies to Top Shot Tony's tweets. That's like, you're absolutely right.
That's great.
It was just another troll on the whole thing. Was
It's
just
so
saying
good.
that Tony showed up for you to support you in the stands.
We're all broken. We're all broken.
We are.
There. All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, bye, Mike. All right, so let's do our duck race. How about it?
Yes, because I definitely also, my girlfriend's like waiting in my living room for me to go to dinner. So,
all right, so let's run that right now. So get a quack in the chat, everybody.
Oh yeah, let's all get our quacks.
Do you want to do
Can
a
I
duck
play?
race? Yeah, everyone's welcome.
Nice.
This is for a Miles Bridges hustle and show moment, courtesy of Joe, aka
there's
Mike Tandy.
Oh wait, I probably shouldn't play. Oh, well.
Why not?
All right, I'll give it away if I win. How about that?
All right.
Yeah.
Quack in the chat.
I want to
Quack
give
in
it
the
to other
chat.
people, you know.
All right, all right.
You know, you can just use it on Shot Talking, right? Like,
That's
it'll
true.
just be a community
It'll be a little collab.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to come in there. We can look over some fun videos, maybe get a little weird wolf howl.
Where do you even find that?
You don't want to know. It's just dedication
I
to
just
the
have
craft.
like Wolfpack. Shout out Wolfpack. It's great, but yeah.
I love that video. I got some other weird ones. Hold on. Oh no, I don't have the furry one. I had a furry one. I had to
Oh
go.
man.
I don't know what depths of the internet you went to find that, but good for you.
No, I
He's
just
on the
keep
dark web getting those ones.
You guys be opposed to a skills challenge next year?
No, that would be fun.
The skill. I figured I didn't know how to do the skills challenge. I didn't have enough props, so I didn't want to make it really gimmicky and bad. So I got to think of a way that we can maybe do a skills challenge. I don't know. I was watching it last night. It looks fun. The relay system, I think the teamwork, it looks like a good time.
Yeah.
You see DJ
It can't
Khaled
be any
run through
worse
the
than
skills
DJ
challenge?
Khaled completing the skills challenge.
That was the
Okay?
greatest part of the entire weekend so far.
By the way, DJ Khaled, that is who you want for Top Shot, honestly.
They said he couldn't do it. They said
Another
he wouldn't have an
one.
All-Star game.
Very
He
specific.
wouldn't do it.
Very specific
I
gripe.
feel like I'm the DJ Khaled of Top Shot now.
Hold on, why
Because
can't
DJ Khaled
he
doesn't have talent? He doesn't do anything. He just gathers the talent.
No,
And
no,
they
but
do
he's
it.
also
They do-
completely delusional. You're
Oh,
not.
yeah.
So you
No,
have a
but
long
this
ways
was
to
a
go.
delusional idea. You have to understand this. Actually, it shouldn't have worked. Whatever
fair.
I came up with.
They said you couldn't. They said you
They
couldn't.
said I couldn't.
They don't want you
now
to
you're
win.
winning,
They don't
Patrick.
want you
Now
to
They
you're
win.
wanted me to win.
Yeah.
They didn't get it. No,
They didn't want you to win, but you won.
Tandy, you're so right though. Khaled would be the best promoter of Top Shot ever.
He could promote anything. He could promote things that shouldn't be promoted, and it would
Yes.
work.
He
Hold
would
on,
be yelling NBA Top Shot this at his breakfast.
I
Like
know,
this dude
exactly.
would be
And he'll do a little dance, and then he'll get slippers that are custom made with
Oh my
Top Shot.
God,
on
it'd
it.
be
He'd
amazing.
get his own moment for sure.
But
Yeah,
Patrick,
you're
hold on.
getting
I see
airdrop-
Steve's listening.
300K
Steve, go
moments.
relay this back to the marketing team. DJ Khaled is the next person. You guys.
DJ Khaled. Nobody else. Pull all your money out and just put it in the Khaled.
In terms of Miami legends, D Wade, DJ Khaled.
I agree with that. Hold on,
He'll be on his jet ski, with the Top Shot moment, on his chain, just showing
NBA
it.
Top Shot that. We
Yeah, I
the
know.
best.
Oh my God, make it happen.
Another
Steve,
moment.
please.
You know what we should do? We should just clip this, send it to Jacob, and we'll be good.
Yeah, guys, marketing's we figured marketing out,
figured marketing
DJ
out.
Khaled.
We do marketing.
This is a good point. Whenever people complain about supply, it'll just be Khaled going,
Another one.
and another one, and another one.
Great gift.
Oh,
All I be doing is minting these moments.
All I do is mince. There you go.
Spencer
Oh,
Dinwiddie.
Nice.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you mint.
Wow, this needs to happen. Actually, this.
They don't want to see you complete the challenges. They said I would never complete the Jalen Green challenge, but I did
completed it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
He's
do
gonna
it.
the NFT All Star Game halftime show next
Maybe
year.
I need to make a video as Khaled at this point.
That is not a bad idea.
I think it needs to
honestly.
happen.
And then he'll see it, get confused, and think he already has a sponsorship deal with Top Shot.
And then he'll sue Top Shot.
To be
No,
fair,
no,
to
then he'll
Khaled, he
promote
was
it.
someone who got lost on his jet ski in Miami.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
we're not tuning into Khaled for the cerebral thought, big brain takes.
No, we want those.
I've got
niche
the
white
Khaled-
tees.
We just
I've got
need
the-
into
I've
the
got the
camera,
Khaled look
say
right
a
now.
couple one-liners, and we're good.
All right. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who want to go to bed, this is for the Miles Bridges. This is the duck race, the moment we've all been waiting for. The most important event of the weekend in terms of Top Shot, in terms of NBA. So let's do it. On your mark, get set, and go. Here we go. Get some quacking going.
While
So
this is
Clean
going on,
Clean Gaines in the early lead, but no, Anta with the strawberry on his head says, I'll take that lead away, Clean Gaines. But Clean Gaines, look at him. He's full of love with the number 8, the Antoine Walker on the Celtics. You got to love it. Clean Gaines back in the lead.
let's go.
Look
No,
at
see,
that
I never
pro
like
now.
starting out ahead because I feel like I'm just bound to lose.
You're gonna get smoked.
Look at this little
Clean Gaines is
beautiful.
The game's guys, I'm so bad at duck racing. I'm terrible.
Well, it's beak and beak, but Blockchain Steve with his beautiful lipstick and queen hat is
He's
looking
not
like-
allowed to win.
Yeah, you can't win. You have to re-roll.
Well, it's gonna have to go to the locker room if Blockchain Steve wins.
It's gonna be Toppy. I don't know why. I'm picking that person.
Dream Shaker's kind of like hanging out in the cut there. He's just like waiting.
Someone's gonna come from the rushes. Oh, there's Jeb. I see Jeb.
Oh, Jeb.
I see Jeb come from behind.
Oh,
Jeb.
#1.
Jeb.
Oh my God! What's gonna happen? Oh!
Let's go!
Wow, that
Rigged.
was like
Rigged.
a solid win.
Just like Kobe and Dwayne Wade. Kobe #1.
Hey, by the way, look at the winners there.
Wait, first place and he was #1. Is there a randomizer issue?
There is 110%.
No, I just entered with the quack last, guys. Okay, so
I mean, that might be the issue. If you're the latest quack, you win.
Wow.
Actually, Rick. Yes.
Actually, yeah, I'll be giving this moment away on Twitter, so don't worry, guys. It'll get into the community.
It's because you're a ghost influencer that's employed by Top Shot, so you can't.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to accept it.
Yeah, exactly. I need a ghost influencer video. I don't have one.
I can send you mine.
You gotta do Ilham. You take Ilham. Make it.
That's true. You should send me yours, Jeb. I'll use it.
I'll send you mine.
Put some music on it, and I'll use it. It'll be my ghost influencer clip.
Yeah, you'll have to cut the copyright Jaden Smith music. But.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. It's easy to do. All right. Well, let me see. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I think like on my list of things to talk about, which I lost now, which was the blended packs, which we talked about. Let's talk about blended packs though for 1 second though. Do you think that how do you feel moving forward? Do you think blended packs is the way to go? Do you feel like we should go back to the standard way, or do you feel like we should do some hybrid of the two?
Hybrid for sure. Like blended packs should be for like 4, 5, 6 times a year or something like that for brand new sets, but especially when it's like the Rising Stars, Hustle and Show, like sets that are like pillars of Top Shot. I know Top Shot's early. I know this is only the second or third iteration of these sets, but like people should, especially during the All Star like promotion, when you buy a Rising Star pack, it's advertised a Rising Star pack. It should not be an option if you get one or not. Yeah. And whether they need to tweak the pricing or tweak like, hey, like you have a super, super limited chance of getting a rare or a legendary, but you're guaranteed that Rising Star. I think that's very important.
So I think two things. One, I think 19 is too much for a standard pack. I think they got it right with the $49 for the elite, because at a bare minimum, you're mostly guaranteed to make your money back by and large.
None in the last one.
Only if it's guaranteed. So this is the big debate, right? Like the game recognized game hybrid packs were guaranteed you get at least one of those moments, but then for this recent drop for Rising Stars, it wasn't. It was like 89% or whatever the hell it was. So I think that if you're gonna have the $49 packs and you're gonna charge that premium, you need to at least guarantee one of the moments from the new set, like we were talking about. And I do think that I don't think $19 is too bad. Like if the percentage of your odds is there.
I'd rather it gains at 14 and simply if it's a theme pack. Right? If we're going to do themes, you should be guaranteed to win the theme. I think they should reduce supply. Not everyone should get a pack. Personally, I'm fine with the queue system where, like, if I'm lucky enough to get a pack, then I'm able to get the theme pack. So I get the Rising Star, and whatever I get in my commons, I get in my commons. Like, I think it's a tough pull for $19, and I'm pulling like 4 commons.
Yeah,
the percentages need to be there.
The big picture, big brain play by Top Shot is like they've said we don't want packs to sell out, so they're trying to be like, hey, don't buy packs; they suck. Like you're gonna lose money. Like buy in the marketplace afterwards. But the problem is you can't just like flip the switch and be like, yes, mixed packs only after 16, 17 months of non-mixed packs. Like you have to educate your user base. So you have to say,
everyone's been crying for these packs since we saw it available in NFL all day and UFC, and now it's like, oh, why is it like this now? This is fucking dumb. Like
people don't know
what everyone's asking for.
People don't know what they want. They only know what they don't want, and they don't know what they don't want until they have what they don't want.
The game recognized game thing was guaranteed, even though the set is out of 10K.
Yes.
But the Rising Stars at a 17.5, and it wasn't guaranteed.
That's my big thing, Patrick. That is like my main argument point right there.
Supply, but less chance to hit it. Weird. It was a weird way to do it, and I don't know how that even broke down, like the numbers. Like that's just weird to me. Like unless the pack totals were like that much different.
They wanted more packs in general, and I get the idea on their side for that thought process because, like,
John
at the end of the day,
told us why their thought process was. It was to make a lot more money while giving us a lot less options on the marketplace.
Plus, also you give more users the opportunity to get a pack, and at the end of the day, like, yes, there's more money to be made. That is a true point, but also more collectors are getting packs in their hands, getting that experience of ripping a pack open versus like the other alternative, whereas like you're going into a queue, there's only 10,000 packs available and there's 50,000 people.
They rubbed collector score. I like this comment because basically they made collector score. They kind of punished, not in a weird way, not punished, but like basically if you have 20,000 collector score, now you get to buy more packs.
And some of those packs.
The other thing that I would chop team score at its knees because what's the teams that people are focusing on to build collector score and stacking to 1 million and buying S2s by the boatful is Raptors, Jazz, Hornets, Wolves. What did they do? They chopped it at its knees with the packs, and then they chopped the Raptors and the Jazz at their knees.
I think it's too early to tell.
Actively acting against their community for marketplace engagement. They are.
I think it's too early to say that because you don't know what they have planned for team like utility. There's going to be team utility. Like right now, it may feel that way, but again, there's so many things that are being worked on that we don't even know about.
They also said a while ago that like no one can have a complete team set.
Yes, they made that very clear.
They made that super clear, and then people get upset when they do this, and it's like they told you this. Like they're going to release probably this year or next year, like very soon, a Kevin Durant on OKC, not from the same year as the Run It Back, but from a different year. And when that happens, people are going to lose their minds. And it's like, no, they told you this is going to happen. Like
people forget because like the roadmap comes out, so much time passes, and then they do what they said they were going to do. And then of course people react as like, oh, like, you know, now I can't have my full team set, which I get. Like you want to have the full team set as a collector, like means a lot to you. But they told you plain and clear as day that there are going to be historical moments coming out that are going to make having a full team set basically impossible unless you're like a big high level collector. And that's what they want. And I think the point of it is that not having a full team set doesn't mean you're not one of their biggest fans. I think it's just for a perks and like what potential utility is going to come with a full team set. You're going to see, okay, like there's a reason why this is not easily attainable. Like it's going to be something that's so big where it's like, all right, it makes sense that it's like these guys spending a shit ton of money to have their full team set. And that doesn't mean there won't be utility for other people. There will be.
So two things. With Allen Iverson, right? So it's going to be less than 50. I don't think Philly fans even realize what just happened until the challenge is done. No one's even crying about this yet. There are going to be under 30 people able to collect the full Philly team after this challenge.
For now, because again, there's more moments that are going to come out.
No, you can still get the all players bonus though. So Ray Allen
Iverson Run It Back moment.
Yeah,
it's an S2 summer.
No, but it still counts for the all players bonus, which is 3 times collector score. So that's the main gravy and collector score. So that doesn't get affected.
They're chopping it.
No. But I do think actually, Jeb, I think he made like a good point on like a thread, and several other people did as well. There's no precedent set, especially on the roadmap, which should be like the hallmark and what should guide user behavior. And it's true. They said on their legendary moments were only going to be like released for the old school moments, and that nothing was promised in terms of archive. Nothing is there. But in terms of precedent for using 3-point contests, dunk contests, that was totally not on the roadmap. And so throwing that in the middle of the equation, you're going to break up team collector score. At least do it the way that the roadmap said it was going to be through a legendary pack, sure. But nobody thought that it was going to happen with a 3-point contest, dunk contest, without any of that kind of notice and setting that kind of precedent. That makes it different than what happened with the Boston Celtics and with the New Orleans Pelicans sets. Those were broken up by actual Top Shot moments that we all know. But a Jeff Hornacek moment breaking up the Utah Jazz,
oh yeah, that's a crime against humanity.
And that was that was the lowest scoring 3-point contest of all time. That was
the worst 3-point contest of all time.
Well, yeah, it was the worst of all time. But literally the worst. Like the last round had the least amount of points ever. I mean, it wasn't that historic.
It was so
actually he had a perfect rack. He had a perfect rack.
They said it couldn't be done.
Perfect rack, but yeah.
Hey, we all love a perfect rack, right?
So a couple quick things. First, on the legendary moment. We did have Austin in the Wolfpack Spaces, and he actually answered that question, which is basically the theme of the legendaries is supposed to be focusing on the 2000 All Star game. So their thought process was, if you're going to use the Vince Slam Dunk contest from 2000, then you have to do the 2 other events. That's their thinking. Now, whether or not I don't agree with that thinking, I think it's fucking dumb, but that's their thinking. Someone really, really smart made this point to me yesterday as far as Top Shot. He's like 50-50 on whether he actually does want to leave Top Shot. He's very frustrated. But the point that he made is it's interesting how much money Top Shot has taken on from a VC perspective. They've taken on roughly $500 million over the last year and a half. And his point as far as, pack price point is that they may be influenced by investors to see hyper growth in terms of their economics. And that might be influencing some of the price points that we're seeing right now. So instead of those $14 packs, they might have jumped up to 19. Sure, because you can get a rare or legendary, but also because they need to increase the total numbers in terms of profit to justify the VC investors' total investment.
To justify
I know it's a little wonky,
for
but
Jalen Green, they need to charge us $5 more a pack.
I'm gonna cut in just because I do have to.
I know you have to
make
go.
I want to make one final point, Mike. I think that was a great point that you made, but here's my last thoughts, and I'll leave you guys with that. And whoever wants to take it can take it how they will. As far as hybrid packs, we were told it was a test. These prices that they're currently at, we don't know if they'll stay that way. The percentages of like whether getting a rare or like a rising stars moment, that is all subject to change potentially. So nothing is set in stone right now.
Agreed.
As far as collector score being rugged and like it's no longer important. One, that's not true because right now, like the higher your collector score, you get the opportunity to purchase more packs. You can get airdrops depending on the sets you own, things of that nature. And full team sets, again, right now, there are bottlenecks that are being created that break that up. That's not to say that eventually they'll be fixed down the line when other moments come out in the future, right? So like at this current time, yes, it may feel like, oh, I'll never be able to complete a full team set, but there will be a Vince Carter moment for the Raptors that is more accessible sometime in the future, right? So everything, like everyone looks at everything through a microscope and is like, this sucks, they rugged us, blah, 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 this, that. Like, may feel that way right now, doesn't mean it's going to be that way in the future. And yes, everyone who wants to say in the comments that I'm just a yes man, like sure, go for it. Maybe I just think a little bit farther scope than some people. So that's what I'm going to say. I do have to jump. I don't want to leave and not be able to defend myself after that, but I do have to go.
You're definitely not a yes man. So anybody who says that just doesn't keep up with what you're saying. You've been objective
a yes man.
a lot, so that's whack.
Well, I'll add, just adding on to Clegane's, I think I put out a thread talking about the auction and how people were upset about that. And I was like, hey, look, this is them testing something before it goes big. And people are like, you're such a shill. And I'm like, no. The problem is Top Shot. The problem is Top Shot is they still have a comms issue. So it should not be my job. It should not be Clegane's job. It should not be any of our jobs to explain and read in between the lines.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's why people will be like, oh, you're such a shill. Cause I'm not grabbing my pitchfork and my torch immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, let's look into this. Let me read the terms and conditions, which is miserable to read.
What people don't do. And Jeb, you and I, and other people out there, we look at the bigger picture. We look at the grand scheme of things, and you're right. Not everyone is paying that fine detail to things or not thinking that far ahead. So it makes sense to get upset in moments, and then something comes down the line. They're like, oh, actually, it's not a problem anymore. I'm happy now. People are very quick to react.
But I do think it's very fair to say that's a problem that Top Shot has. Their comms suck,
100%.
and we should not be reading in between the lines and trying to explain things.
100%.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Jeb, sorry to interrupt.
No,
it's
go for
wild given who they've hired.
And maybe there's a transition period or something.
They hired AJ Curry from the NFL. Their CFO is formerly with some really big tech companies.
They hired Pacrip.
Yeah, they Pacrip.
Pacrip knows
and
Top Shot
Brandon
really well. Yeah.
But it's it is super frustrating that they can't do the basic fucking thing. I think Dumbo's great. I think Jacob does largely a really good job with comms, but I think in terms of diving into the finer details of stuff, the blog post from 2 weeks ago still fucking irritates me. The way that they handled the standard pack did not sit well with me, mostly because I don't think they from a comps perspective, really knew what they were doing. They
they
did something on Friday, then did it on Monday, and did it. Oh, I know.
Yeah, same. But like we could talk about that all day. Mike and I have been on multiple spaces and like debated this. Like we could go on forever, but I think again, long term, we're gonna forget. We're not gonna even care about that issue happening. Like long term.
I know.
Mike,
and maybe that's just because I'm a glass half full guy, but
I'm not a glass half empty guy. Okay, obviously. Let's make that very clear. I'm not a glass half full guy. Mike, when I call my doctor and ask for my medical records, it takes him 2 weeks. Like, and we're expecting Top Shot to report on something in like immediately. Like, I don't get mad.
I mean, look.
But those are two very different organizations, though.
Yeah.
Right.
I argue that my medical records are probably a little more important than some YouTube clips on the internet, though.
They are more important, but it's a old-fashioned, slow industry. But yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, healthcare is something like in the U.S., $1 trillion business, but it's okay. They do dwarf Top Shot by market size and market capital. Gaines, you should head out, bro.
I'm peacing out. I just wanted to say like a proper goodbye. Thank you all for having me. This debate's awesome. It's always a good thing to have debates like this, even when there's people on both sides. Like that just helps the product get better, like overall down the line. But Tandy, thanks for having me. Pack Trip, again, thanks for NFT All Star Weekend. Everyone else, like such a pleasure to meet you, Mike. Always love talking to you and debating with you. And I will, of course, see you guys again in the future. So
take care. Gaines.
That's what I meant.
Later, Mountain. We'll see you later, bro.
Anyhow, I mean, look, I think the collector score thing is interesting to me. The team set thing, I do think though that like the example like Pack Trip that you're talking about, how like a lot of people are collecting these particular teams. Yeah, sure, because that's just like the loophole for now, and that's like a clear one.
It's Top Shot acknowledging that they have to dead the loophole, I think.
But that one they did tell us ahead of time. That one I will say they did tell us that was when I still remember Jacob was on like a call and he's like, if you think that we are not going to mint a larger circulation Dirk Nowitzki on the Mavs, then you are insane. Like this is a product that is trying to tell the entire story of the NBA. There's not only going to be one Dirk Nowitzki run it back moment. And alas, of course, now there's a Dirk Nowitzki archive moment for $25. So the same thing will happen. You will have crazy bottlenecks. Those bottlenecks will get crushed later. Yeah. Some you don't really know when it's going to happen. You have like Kelly Olynyk on the Celtics.
He went from $500 to $150 because
I think
because of Hornacek, right?
And then Udoka Azubuike was a 4K from S2 that was I guess getting more value, and it lost its value as well.
But that's a good thing too, because Brantley is not worth that much. So allowing him to just constantly inflate without any correction or checks is not good for Top Shot or the marketplace. So them creating these new bottlenecks and then getting rid of them and then creating more and then just this thing going up and down. And maybe, who knows, maybe in the future they'll have it so they'll be like, okay, we're introducing this legendary that's going to really cap the team sets. But while this legendary is in place and there's only like 50 people that can hold it, we'll do some crazy like event for full team set holders. Then we'll release an archive that breaks that, and now everyone can have it again. And then the next time something comes around, we'll like it's a rare, it's a new rare. So now it's 250. So we'll do a different special thing that's not as crazy as the VIP thing, but it's
what if they just did this? What if they did, instead of necessarily a full team set utility, you do something like, I'll use the Celtics, for example. Let's say you do Celtics S2 set or S3 holders get a higher chance at a sweep at a future Celtics game. Maybe they'll get like 20 to 30% better odds than people who don't hold at the full team pack.
I mean, once again, I think that's happening / going to happen. They just don't communicate it. They're like, hey, S2 is important. And we're like, why? And they're like, well, all we can tell you is that you can get in a cool channel on our Discord. And all of us are like,
cool, guys.
Okay, cool.
We'll do it on our own Discords and talk shit about you.
I think there is more to that. I just think they're like, that's the problem. They don't communicate this. I think there's a lot to come, but they're not like, hey, like we're thinking about these certain things for S2 team set holders because they've said it's important. So we know something's coming eventually, but they don't tell us that. And so people are like, oh, cool. I'm in a Discord channel and Jacob pops in here every now and then. But
yeah, but I think also too, you have to look around at the other NFT space and also question why, for instance, I know Chewy just got a digital autograph from Michael Carter Williams from the Players Only NFT. How is it that they can have that kind of access and interaction, but an NBA licensed product like can't even? I mean, not that they can't, but they haven't thus far.
Because
So
it has to go.
kind of like
it has to go through the NBA.
For sure, but they already have that, that pipeline with KD, and I mean, I don't know the complications behind obviously like licensing this stuff out, but even just like sending a moment, that's the digital signature.
So
players can collect and they can transact.
Talking to some dapper people, just one of the things I know offhand is the reason that 9 Lives Lounge hoodie took forever to they announced it and then it took forever to come out was because the NBA had to approve of everything from what blanks they printed on to how they shipped it out. It's insane. So I think that the limiter here is the NBA, and obviously Dapper can't come out and just throw the NBA under the bus. So as a result, they have to just bide their time and continue to build that relationship and trust. And the NBA is continuing to allow them to do more. It's just going to take some time.
It is Michael Carter Williams, so not exactly like a staple NBA player, but I mean, he's having a conversation with Chewy and his son. And so even just setting up that conversation, I can't imagine that if Players Only NFT can pull that off, that there's those barriers that are created in terms of that.
Michael Carter Williams is one of the creators of Players Only NFT. It's his best interest to promote his project that way.
Cool. No, and he can, and they can obviously do that. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, just sending back a moment, like Top Shot, like NBA players can collect Top Shot moments, sending moments to,
we were promised a conversation in NLL. That was one of the big things that never got
right. So even just having the personal conversation and actually was something that doesn't seem like there's too big of a barrier there, but maybe there is.
Didn't you guys just get KD?
They said to have a conversation with an NBA player. He came in and posted a couple. I don't want to get.
I mean, I'm just telling you that
9 Lives Lounge. This is not what this is
about. I'll FUD them all day. I think it's. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, but personally, that's what they promised was that. As far as Top Shot's concerned, they fulfilled that promise. Whether you think they did or not, which I would agree with you, Patrick, they did not. But that's them saying yeah, we nailed it, guys. High fives all around.
So when you said the long, this is what we do in the meetings, but they're dealing with humans and emotions and money and everything. And when they're yeah, we're just gonna mix it up, throw a legendary in there and everything, human emotion, you can't pretend there isn't somebody gonna be upset about it or anything. So definitely, I hope that all the movements and everything and those bottlenecks that they are breaking are done with purpose and not the fact that 2 years from now the Jazz set still won't have utility, but you cheated these guys at a collector score for 5 years or for 2 years.
I couldn't agree more.
From it. That's what I'm worried about. Is that it's rugged for no reason, and these guys put up, anybody. How would you feel if you were to get the 10,000 collector score? They've been saying 10K to get to these premium pack drops. I spent an extra $3,000 out of my own pocket, my own bank account. Spent $3,000, and then I wake up the next morning and I woke up with even less collector score than when I went before I spent the 3K. And you're like, what happened? That didn't happen to me with the Jazz set, but it could happen to anybody with any set.
I think that's the problem. As someone who did have Brantley, I think that's the problem is you have these teams that are building and getting they're working together better, but they're not communicating in between teams. Because it really seems like the challenges for the All Star moments that were created, the people who created those challenges, it really seems like they did not know about the throwdown or the dunk contest airdrops.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah,
and look,
the challenge.
Also, right? I gotta get out of here, guys. I've overstayed by a lot more. So I also So thank you.
I got a dip too as well.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you, Tandy. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you, Patrick, for putting this on. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys around for sure.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you as well. Thank you, Tandy.
All right, see you, James.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you,
guys.
Catch you later, James.
All right, so this has now become a Tandy Boards to Buckets crossover show.
Shout out ODB.
Yeah, I mean, we can cover a couple more things. Some of these things are just really hard to come to a really acceptable conclusion. Honestly, the stuff about the team sets, it's there's a lot of strategy that a new user has to understand, which I think is really complicated. And that's one of the most complicated things about NBA Top Shot, I think. And I know that I saw that Pac Rip Ewing was saying like they're working on that. They're going to try to make it clearer, but that is very tough to understand. And Pac Drip, your point about like spending a bunch of cash to get a high collector score, where right now it's not even worth it to have a high collector score, because what are you getting? My buddy Haraj in one of the Discords I'm in, he's like, you get another pull at the slot machine. That's all you get, and your chance of getting
you have to pay for it.
Yeah, you have
to
pay
price
for it.
an extra pull, and I'm like, that's not the way collector score was marketed to me either. I'm at over 20,000 collector score before boosts. It affects me when I see that.
This month, your high collector score really doesn't do much of anything for you. Because you could easily just buy another pack.
Get me started. Yeah. The first fucking elite drop was 45,000, and then it was 50,000, and then it was 55,000. They increased it every single time, and then also decreased the marketplace bonus you got. It went from 10K to 9,500. There was these minuscule things where they're actually trying to they're finding that middle ground of like who's the 3-pack, 4-pack guys, who's the 1 and 2-pack guys. They're really trying to set their line in the sand to where there's there's like a upper and lower or something.
But Pack Drip, not only that, you can go back in line and buy more. So even if we're going to limit you, it's like a buffet. And I think with a lot of Top Shot users,
get one, and then let's say
let's go right to the back. More max
back
packs?
Get one, they go back and buy 4 too, and it's a.
I mean, and look, I get it. Like we're all fucking degenerates. Let's be very clear here about what is happening. But on the flip side, it's hard to tell Top Shot that people need to be more responsible with their money. I understand that. On the other, because it's not their responsibility. On the other hand, the idea for a mid-tier or lower tier user to either come in fresh or have a better understanding of what they need to do to qualify for rare or legendary drops, it's hard. We've been here a year and it feels like 10.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of, for lack of a better term, bullshit in going through this process. I said this on stream the other night. Dream and I talked about it pretty extensively actually post show, but I sold an NFT recently, have a little extra cash to spend. So I was like, I'm going to throw $1,000 into Dapper and bump my collector score up. It's at about 3.6K. I'm unsure what I really want to buy because I have some ideas of maybe do I buy sets? Do I buy into some teams? Do I maybe buy MGLEs instead? It's fucking confusing at times to really know what makes the best sense. And that's not entirely Dapper's responsibility to point to
but that's why
what's gonna help my economic right.
Boards the Buckets, Tandy Show. These shows exist because there is that void. We were guys, or you guys were guys who kind of were more hip to what was going on and understanding and wanted to share and help the community. Literally, everybody who has their own show is a mini beacon of hope within the community because people are lost. People are you guys are sources of light that are trying to help people and guide them to understand what is really happening. And enough people wake up.
Yeah, Patrick. And I'm glad you're saying that because, especially in our Discord, we have just a whole wave of new users now that are asking just questions just left and right about what to do. And so answering these questions and how tough they are sometimes, even for me to be able to answer somebody who's been on the platform for a whole year. Me and Caleb last week were investigating the true essence of collector score. And how is it that, this is just very rudimentary stuff, right? The all players part, which you were confusing just a second ago, that's where you get that 3 times collector score bonus. But what do they call that? They don't call it the all players bonus. They call it the full team bonus. That is blanket misnomer right there. So it's not collecting the full team set. It's collecting the all players. And that's just cold blanket, black and white. I read this with my professional background, yo, seriously, who's doing this stuff in the background? And very small things too. I don't like to bitch about the captions that are on the website and with each moment, but there's these very just plain black and white communicative errors that we do have to pick up in the community and articulate. But if there's one thing that they made pretty consistent, and I hope that nobody gets rugged on this, but it's the S2 the S2 collector bonus, right? That's the essence right now of moving up and leveling up. Now, as to whether that's philosophically collect what you love, And that's what the platform preaches. And I'm sure Mike has very good weight into that whole conversation. I think that in a lot of ways, that's just hope that we're all having that's going to be some kind of activation down the road. But thus far, I mean, we're talking about precedent that was set beyond the roadmap with throwing in the 3-point contest and dunk contest that shattered collector score for the Toronto Raptors, the pinnacle community, like the pinnacle Top Shot like team community out there. Like they have Jurassic Pack, they got Steve Fearman, who's like a top tier collector. I mean, if there's anyone you don't want to piss off, it is them, right? So how is it that new? And I'm not going to call it the new hires or anything like that, but this is where the policy of not being able to collect. I mean, this is where maybe you get some of that insulation now from the community, right? And like, there's other things as well. So for instance, like there was the whole randomization issue that happened weeks ago. Who found that out? Was it like Dapper's audit? No, I was getting DMs from Poker Pro Eric at midnight about it. How is it that nobody in the Top Shot community was getting DMs and then like, yo guys, there's an issue here with dudes pulling 5 hollows? It doesn't. Well, maybe they did. Maybe they went like.
Dream, who is that dude?
What's up?
I said, who is that dude that got the 5 hollows? It's so weird.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of. I mean, but even just internally, and we've hit on a few different issues, right? So, like the Flash Challenge guys, I don't necessarily talk with the team.
Was it this guy?
Maybe, I don't know. My back might hurt, so I'm not sure if I can show up.
It could have been this guy.
Could have been.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, these are very. So I think that teams that like when they're just talking amongst one another. I mean, I wonder, for instance, and this is something that popped out to me a long time ago. Austin Kent was talking about obviously curation of moments and the whole process behind them. And from my gathering and my understanding, they don't really talk with the Top Shot economist. Their role is basically to pick the coolest moments. They're kind of directed in that, in their, I guess, protocol in terms of how they select it, where they talk with the NBA, X, Y, and Z. But you would think that at the context of it, because it affects us collectors, that there's somehow like an economical aspect behind it. And I'm sure there is. Like, that's why they want Excel guys that are behind this stuff. But the more insulated you get over time and you're not collecting anymore, I imagine that this problem is just going to maybe get worse and worse and worse. So I'm not sure exactly how Top Shot tackles that, but the insulation
is
like one big thing.
That's a great point, Dream. I hadn't fully considered the concept of Dapper employees not being able to collect, because it does create a level of like, some people are more forward facing, like Dumbo and Jacob, and they certainly hear those community concerns. Mustafa, Bali's blockchain Steve, like, these people who are more front facing for sure. But, it's tough for them to really hear collectors' day-to-day grind gripes because they're not seeing it necessarily. Like, they're seeing it from a business perspective, but they're not necessarily like in it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Do I think that they should be collecting? No. let me be very clear. Like, I think from a legal perspective, it creates all kinds of issues for them to be collecting.
Certainly, but I think that also goes into who you hire, and I think that you have to weigh the risk of, I mean, if you're selecting the best, cream of the crop, I mean, at that point, you're basically saying we don't trust our employees to do this, so then why hire them in the first place? These are going to be philosophical, fundamental issues that they're going to have to figure out over time, because as people get brought into Dapper and they aren't on the platform more and more and more, things like breaking the Toronto Raptors collector score, like I said, I'm not going to emphasize again, one of the most passionate Top Shot communities out there. And I almost question whether that's intentional or not. I don't know. And if it's not intentional, then that's also concerning too, that it just went right over their heads. So regardless of what you want to say, in terms of creating precedent through the 3-point contest and also Vince Carter's dunk, the moment that a lot of Toronto Raptors fans want to have. I mean, that right there, you basically got a bunch of them that kind of hate that moment on the platform. So I think philosophically that also is an issue, because that should be something that they should all love, right? Like, oh my God, this hit the platform. I'm so happy. Instead, the money that they invested into the platform is outweighing that particular moment and against the banal fundamental collect what you love strategy. So there you go. That's and I get it. Like from a business perspective, you want that 5%, you want the big cash cows coming in, the whales, you want that. But without the support system, down at the bottom, all that supply needs to go somewhere. It doesn't move. Demand isn't created unless you have that beacon of trust. And right now, I can't say that I blame anybody for, again, breaking the precedent, right? And then being silent about it after. So I don't know how that was created. That's the kind of stuff that worries me, right? That this stuff can just come out of nowhere. So
this would be a really good question, honestly, for Austin. Like that would be a really good question to just figure out like how they make those decisions.
He says that already. I mean, people have been asking Austin and Jacob the same questions for over a year now. We know they aren't not like they
Jacob.
have
I think Jacob's more involved.
Yeah, I feel like they each have like their own niche, and like we said, we want to ask Austin this stuff, and we know he doesn't pick out the clips. And then also it's spread out.
So then who is it then? Is it the economist who decides like how many circulation of what moment?
Do we know what Packrip's actual role is?
Editor,
he is
blog poster, content creator.
Yeah, content creator, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the economist largely who's making some of these decisions. I'm sure they have a marketing team in place that handles some of that, in terms of figuring out the exact numbers and how they want to market it. In theory, they have a best business practices team that's handling all of this stuff, right? Like on top of your marketing team, I'm sure they have like a very good business analytics team that's running all those numbers and trying to figure out what makes the most sense. Those are like real things. But to Jeb's point earlier, it's not just putting the moments out, it's that you're not communicating about them in a way that makes sense. At the end of the day, like that's what sucks, is that their comms aren't very good.
But I wonder like how they could have done a better job with that, because like let's just say that every team does have a really, really difficult to get moment, super expensive, impossible to get, right? So here's the thing that I feel. I think that that's okay, but there's a couple things you have to implement. Number one, you got to tell collectors that in some way or another, like, yes, we're releasing this legendary Vince Carter moment. We will be releasing more Vince Carter dunk moments in a future release. Just say that. And the other thing,
they do say that, but they say it. The problem is they're segmented in the way they'll say it. They'll say that in a Twitter Spaces.
No, I agree that there's an issue with there. And we've said that today, like the comms has to step up.
But I also think if you're going to break precedent, think about how supply is going to dictate the conversation once you do. So
what
if
do you
you're
mean
going to
breaking precedent? I didn't really follow that.
So the breaking the precedent would be, again, that no time on the platform has a slam dunk or a slam dunk contest moment, or the 3-point contest broken any sort of team set. In fact, they were the first times that those moments were released on the platform. So the amount of negative sentiment that you created in weight versus the 50 moments and the cash cow that you're going to create, I think that if you're going to release and break precedent in that manner, then maybe roll it out in a different way, right? So I'm not sure necessarily. I mean, sure, release maybe the Vince Carter like in the basket like dunk, but then also maybe that's where you want to pair up, the archive with the moment, only because you're breaking precedent, right? I don't think they necessarily needed to go and do that for the Boston Celtics and for the New Orleans Pelicans. Those follow the same standard NBA Top Shot drops that we're used to, right? A dunk moment. Like these are like completely different play types. Like that's not even something that are they like? What even kind of play types are these? I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It could be a 3-pointer or a dunk, but
right. But I mean, that entirely just breaks the structure of what we know as collectors. So they've changed the game in that manner, and you're supposed to outline those things, I believe, on the roadmap. If you're going to do that, at least think about how the supply is going to dictate the conversation, because people will be a lot happier if there were 1,000 Vince Carters out there, even 500, right? Like whatever. Just you can definitely minimize. All it takes is one bad FUD Twitter post to then create just negative sentiment all over. And whether that had to do with the market crashing or not, I think supply was a bigger driver of that than anything.
Yeah,
but
me too.
That it didn't help, right? So and we all saw that with our account values.
Out of 50, they could legendary. They said was to 120 is the max that it'll go to, or 99 or something. They set a limit, and didn't they want to like juice these? There's an opportunity to juice these packs. If there was 99 or 100 legendaries, that means double the amount of people would have hit hollows this time, because they're all out of 50. So if they're all at 100,
there you go.
Like,
that
there are ways to make these packs so much better for free. It doesn't cost them anything to mint a common or a legendary. It doesn't cost extra.
So there you go. That's supply driving the conversation, right? You bring an astute like observation there. Yeah, why not another 50?
Why not another 50? That they set the parameters for a reason. This isn't that rare. Like, is this supposed to be the pinnacle of what a legendary set is? The All Star 3-point game. After even like people openly mock All Star game highlights all year round and forever, even before Top Shot existed. Like, people have never give credit to them. Like, I feel like even they don't when they talk about it. Like, they know the All Star game's gimmicky. They don't play defense. It's like an open joke. And
If anything, those should have been airdrops or something. I don't know. It's just when you introduce that to the conversation, something that can break the game and change the game. I mean, that's just simple like trading cards, any rules, right? These are the rules that are specified. This is our roadmap. Thus far, they basically followed it. But that's the one time where they didn't, and they never outlined it, and they took everybody by surprise, including one of the most passionate team, or fan bases out there on Top Shot. So to me, that's a complete insulation. And that there was no reason why that needed to happen. So I wish that would have driven the conversation a bit more. And again, collect what you love. If that's going to be like the bedrock of your business, and whether Mike agrees that that's actually something that is practiced or not, that right there is an indication towards the argument that you would carry, which is that it's bullshit. But another conversation for another day, right? I do think that there's going to be pathways to be able to get to that point in time. But again, supply driving the conversation. This needs to be taken care of, I think, a little bit better. And so that would be my main criticism of this particular drop. But thus far, they have followed the roadmap pretty well, and I will give them credit that up until now, I mean, to have the foresight to put all that stuff ahead of time, to then create, whether the Stimmy had more to do with this than anything, to at least be able to walk through the roadmap, not really change a whole lot. Basically, like, it's gone pretty well. So to have that kind of foresight ahead of time, cool. But this was pretty tone deaf, in my opinion.
So Mike, take real quick. I just think like the play type, or if it's coming from an all-star game or what have you, to me, that's less of an important thing in my opinion. I definitely hear what you're saying about supply driving the conversation. I think it's more about that. The fact that you take any moment, whether it be from a game, an all-star game, whatever, and it's a really small supply, it creates a massive bottleneck. It messes up the collector score, messes up what these people are collecting. And so my main gripe is just that the fact that the scenario exists as it is right now, where people are collecting certain teams to have a better chance at collector score. Like, it should be even playing field for all teams. That's the whole point.
Well, Tanny, I'm gonna push back a little bit on this, and this is more of like a basketball like argument. So the thing is that Toronto's exposure to the All-Star game is so little that basically like the possibility that their team sets could have been broken, they basically can walk through all the All-Star moments that they could, basically have out there and say, okay, for instance, like the Boston Celtics, they basically had an All-Star like every year. They went through a period of time where they didn't, but, Paul Pierce was generally in those All-Star games. So if you're a Boston Celtics collector, and the All-Star legendary drop is about to pop off, or a legendary set, you probably know that at some point your set's going to be broken by some legendary player. That risk for the Toronto Raptors is basically buried in that Vince Carter Top Shot moment. That's like the one area where I guess they could have done it, but nobody could have anticipated that was happening. And that's the issue, that if I'm somebody who spent $10,000, I'm going to know all the nuances behind the moments that I collect. And basically me looking at the amount of supply that Top Shot could bring out there. Like, for instance, like maybe you could, who were some all-stars that happened over the past few years besides, Vince Carter? I guess, they could have brought out like a Chris Bosh, right? But Chris Bosh but Chris Bosh has already got a moment. Van Vliet's already got a moment. So once you start to walk through those particulars, you then realize like my team set's not going to be broken. So that's cool. And so, but nobody's anticipating Vince Carter's slam dunk contest if you're a Toronto Raptors team set holder. So that's the point. So like that's where the not just the supply, but what's in the supply of their vault of moments. Because again, not all supply is created equal. These are old school moments. So old school moments are taken from a vault where they can basically pick and choose whatever they want over time. But breaking over active players and those moments, I mean, that can happen naturally on its course due to the S3 roadmap because they already laid it all out there. But all they said about old school moments are that legendary moments will be released. So Toronto Raptors fan that's on there reading like, okay, so what can I expect? Okay, legendary moment for here, duck the hoops, let's pray. But we're barely ever in the Christmas game, so that's not going to happen. Okay, another legendary set. Maybe this will break my Toronto set. But then they said that there's going to be a legendary set around, I think, the All-Star break. So maybe less. That's where the particulars really matter, and so that's why.
Isn't that screwed up? If this is supposed to be a platform about collectibles, it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be that you have to go look at box scores from the last 20 years of All-Star games to try to figure out if you're going to get bottlenecked again. That's way too complicated. It doesn't make sense. But that's my whole point. Is like that shouldn't be the way it is.
Well, when you invest that much into it, I mean, it's all about due diligence, right? So, I mean, if I'm going to invest $10,000 in a team set, maybe you shouldn't have to go do it, but you should be aware of what's happened in history to know if it's going to break it or not. And whether
you're broken now because of LeBron James' Heat moment.
Oh yeah, no, but that's why I never collected Heat moments from the beginning. My strategy from day one was not to collect like the Miami Heat because it made no sense to me. So,
but now imagine all those Heat fans joining Top Shot. Who are they going to collect? The Hornets?
100%. That's an issue. That's a legitimate issue. Me getting my in real life friends in this product. So I will be from the beacon of the top, yelling collector score or collect what you love needs to be improved from a very fundamental standpoint.
Yeah, it's going to change to collect the Timberwolves.
Exactly, and that's what I did.
Be Timberwolves and Hornets left, and then all the funnelers are going to go to 2, and then it's going to get real ugly.
No, but yeah, that's the thing. These are but that's the main point here is that all these teams are going to get screwed over at some point, and they're all going to get resolved at a future point. So like collect with that in your head.
True, but nobody expected that in February of 2020, around the All Star game, that the Toronto Raptors team set could be broken by something like a Vince Carter dunk contest.
But that's my point. They could release one of these legendary sets that's coming down the road and just crash your Timberwolves set easy peasy.
And they're going to. They're going to. Exactly. You should know that. But if they break it with something that they weren't able to do before, like a 3-point contest and a dunk contest, then like that to me is not only poor communication, but you're just throwing in a new rule into the game.
Yeah.
Like, where on the roadmap did they ever say that like these types of things could happen, right? Like if that's going to be specified out there, cool. If it's not, then be careful when you drop a 50 supply to break.
I think I did see something though in the roadmap that said something about like a very limited supply from like an all star event, or there was something in there. Like obviously it wasn't as clear as you would probably like it to be, but there was something there.
Good. Let's see. I'll pull it up and see
what Jeb was saying. How they want Jarrell Brantley. They don't want him to be a bottleneck of the Jazz. They don't want that look on the platform.
Totally fine.
So they want to break that up. And then the same thing I just thought with Philly is, remember Ben Simmons had that weird legendary hollow that made him the most legendary hollow on the website. Like it's the rarest. It's like out of 28 or something.
Yep. And you know who owns it?
Who? You?
Daryl Morey.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's the most limited moment on the site. Now with this new challenge, I think AI's layup might be the rare Philly bottleneck legendary that takes that one. So maybe they really are like bottleneck hunting themselves and trying to write their own story about what's the most legendary moment of a team set. You get what I'm saying?
So I have the language here. This is the one line in here that Top Shot users have to anticipate something like this happening. Sometime in the middle of the series, we plan to debut a second historical legendary set with a narrow focus.
There you go.
That's the line, but a narrow focus, really?
That's how narrow it is. It's a 3-point competition. You know, I agree with you. It should have been more specific.
Well, the thing is like you have to, but then you have to ask the question, why wasn't it though? So like, what is the driver for being very vague with that language, right?
That's a great question.
So that right there is the question, right? That's what you need to ask. So what business decision is driving it being extremely vague? Is it that you're like, you know, if you say, oh, it's going to be a all-star moment or a slam dunk contest, if anything, that can move the market and stimulate the legendary market in a way that, I don't know, or team sets at the very least. Yeah. I mean, to me, there would be all the more incentive to go and create that kind of speculation because that's what drives the market.
Instead with it, because they just broke 2 sets out of the 30 because of 30 teams. They just killed Jazz and Raptors. There's 28 teams left, right? And then they said, just wait, some more teams will die soon. And 28 teams now are in a panic, as well as the other 2 who just got killed and who are selling out of everything and their floors crashing. So now you have 28 teams.
I'll happily take their moments.
Maybe I should get rid of this team set because, you know, this is the reason. They're dealing with humans. They're good with data. They're number crunchers. These are analytical people that are not letting human emotion, like they see numbers and like, this will work out, blah, blah, blah. And you know, it's a human element. Like that's what this NFT thing is. Like it's bringing real life to this metaverse, but because we know what real life and everything was like, and they're trying to rewrite what it is and tell us what.
And Patrick, that right there is at the bane. Like that's the bane of the conversation. How different are we than Web 2.0 if we're just going to have business guys running Top Shot?
Running Top Shot who want to kill sets. Like I just don't get it. Like I don't know. Well, I just really don't.
They can do it, but the manner in which they do it, like saying there's a narrow focus involved in the middle of the series, at the very least, you can say the All Star break. Right. During the All Star break, we're going to create but there's a reason that they didn't do that. and you can speculate as to what that reason is. And I'm sure whatever path you decide to go on, it's not collect what you love, I don't think, at the heart of it, right? So if that isn't going to be a part of the equation, then to me, that's going to be the tone deaf response. And a lot of it starts with having the business guys in the room, with the guys who have collected on the platform. To be fair, I'm not sure how involved Pack Rip or Brandon. I know Brandon sold off a bunch of his commons, and he basically had like a top-down like collection with rares and legendaries. So, I mean, maybe Ballers Blockchain Steve, I want to say he got gamified behind it, so maybe he has better understanding of Collector Store and how that works. But I'm not even sure how many people in the company themselves have actually like gone and played with Collector Store before to even know that this was an issue. So that is also worrisome as well. It's either intentional or it's ignorance.
Hold on. Look, kind of disagree, but only in the sense that, like, I think they very clearly know mostly what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
Why isn't Steve making daily
and I think
videos
from
anymore?
the
They hired a dude who made daily videos for people and gave great information, and they hired him, and now he hasn't made a video in over a month. His last video was announcing he got hired. I'm not.
Well, he doesn't. He can't make the YouTube content anymore.
Like,
yeah, he's not allowed to do it anymore.
Why? That was why he brought him in.
Maybe he can do it within their ecosystem.
Creators for goodwill, and so they'd be the voice, and they would show people.
The issue is that he makes money off those YouTube clips
with Dapper Labs stamp in the bottom. It should be
so
the same show.
This is
maybe a little bit more like construction behind it, like telling him, "Look, this is what we're gonna do." Blah blah. Make it like an official show. But that's what I seen when they hired Steve. I said, "This is what they're doing. They're coming out with a daily show for everyone to catch up." You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Maybe that's not good.
Maybe there's some stuff in the pipeline.
That might drain all the other.
I actually think that would be smart.
They should do it.
Did it incredible.
Educational videos, like that's
educational videos from these content creators that did the Brandon.
The breadcrumbs I'm trying to go and drop is this: if you're gonna not change the policy, exactly, Chewy, like that right there. I mean, it's just it's a channel, a pipeline. I mean, that kind of stuff. It's just it's you can't leak this stuff to people ahead of time. But I don't know who you do it with. Like, do you do it with third parties? Like, you can't do that either because you can't trust them. It's just there's no
right. Oh wait, that's all of us.
Yeah.
True. I mean, it's what we're technically making some money on at the end of the day. Like,
well, the hope is that with Tandy creating this conversation and this discourse, that somebody out there is listening. And so that's why in the end, having these kinds of shows and discussions to be able to maybe pave the way. But I'm also not very hopeful either that voice in the room is more powerful than the business operation side, which says we need to show our shareholders this quarter that, we're going to ramp up this and that and whatever the case is. Like,
I do think that's a real thing.
Of course, yeah, for sure it has to be.
Like when you take on $500 million of VC investment at a valuation of $3.5 billion, those investors are going to want to see a return on investment. Make no mistake.
with selling NFL packs for $50 a pop and $250 a pop and UFC packs,
they're making money hand over fist.
Those should be pumping those numbers just fine.
I agree on that.
I was just thinking about that, by the way. It's like Top Shot almost feels like it's like protected for now because to me, like the NFL packs being that price and the UFC at that price, to me, it seemed really high. Like to get like a 3 common NFL pack for $50 numbered to like 25,000 per moment.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I've been so lucky. Like,
because you've been buying them.
Yeah. So I got 3 rares and a legendary.
Wow. That's super lucky.
Crazy.
Influencer
by the way, I hate to put this out there, but we have to be, realists in this stuff. That lawsuit that was out last year, and I went through the whole complaint. I wouldn't say it was a frivolous lawsuit, but I didn't think there was much weight to it. I believe there's a new one filed. So there's some stuff within whether Top Shot is a securities or collectible, and this whole ecosystem that's being created kind of begs the question slightly. So I do think that the levers that are being pulled with these type of vague sentences, I question legally also too whether that's the right move, because that's a part of business operations are your legal risks. So when you create vague statements in your roadmap and that's your dissemination of communication, that becomes a huge issue. So that's objective, but that's legal's job to go and also say too, when they run up the pipeline, whether something like that is okay. But within, these invisible levers getting pulled, these are the arguments that are being created in the lawsuit as we speak. So we'll have a little bit more answers as that gets worked up.
Where did it get filed?
Huh?
Where did it get filed?
This one, so I was actually going to call with a bunch of like lawyers on some other stuff, and so they're the ones who pulled it up for me. I haven't got into my own investigation to go look through it myself, but I believe that this one would be in New York.
The first one was because of the stock market thing, right? That's how they marketed it in the beginning.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but that was all very like,
and I think that one got thrown out of court pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was a thing. But yeah, again, this kind of language, this kind of communication, the ecosystem, these are all things we have to think about in the end, and so it's an important thing to talk about. But I wouldn't think too much about it either. Like
fucking lawyers, man.
One good thing.
I'm sorry, I hate to crash the party, but
you know how they do little test runs of everything, and like Top Shot's always testing something on a small level to expand it. I think those 30 NFTs, this is a Cool Cats rant right here, but I think it's a small scale. They're trying to figure out how they could actually bring that to a bigger group. So I think Nine Lives Lounge truly is the next. There's the 30 MVPs with the NFTs or whatever they're calling it. I don't know, VIP NFTs. They have those, and then I think that's the next move is Nine Lives Lounge.
I think you're right.
I think it's test running.
I think that Top Shot has always told us things, and then sometimes we just stay ignorant for a long time until they come to pass. And I feel like the Nine Lives Lounge was a major, a major talking point and a really big idea that still seems far away. And I think at some point it's going to probably come to pass, and it's probably going to be, like you said, a version where it's like funneling down, where it's like, okay, first it's big money people who enter the platform who want to buy this. Then it's going to be like people who hold legendaries or people who are in the Nine Lives Lounge, and eventually down and down and down until I hope that we get to a place where it's like tiered collector score, tiered team set holders and things like that. And we'll get beyond this whole problem with collecting full team sets. And they'll basically be like rankings, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I have this collector score and I have this Raptor set without the Vince Carter. Therefore, I'm at this point, and I'm going to enter a raffle of like the top 500 collectors, and 150 of us are going to go to an all-inclusive game or something. Like, I feel like that's where this can pretty easily go. I think it's just a matter of there's a lot of things that they have to figure out, and this massive thing they're doing now is a big push forward to be able to figure out all that stuff on the logistics side, the legal side, and the marketing side, and everything. And eventually we'll get there.
I will say in general, this season has been pretty successful thus far in terms of all the supply that's been thrown in. The flash challenges have done great to stimulate the market, but now we're at an impasse with supply where I'm not sure that the stimmy money is. The stimmy is like the biggest thing I think that accelerated the market, but at the same time, they created really cool moments, really cool themes, and they kind of slowed a bit on the base packs and started introducing rares and legendaries, but Lord Almighty, we still have a lot more coming, and we're barely in the playoffs. We're not even in playoffs yet. So
yeah, I'm definitely a little concerned, but obviously we're seeing the marketing lever get pulled, and I'm just obviously that's like the big variable here. It's like, can that marketing get us to where we need to go? Because, like you said, there's a ton of supply still on the way.
Are we still in beta now that we have gold diamond chains on the slam dunk contest?
Don't get tied up on that. Don't get tied up on beta. People who get tied up on beta, I think, are kind of missing the point. Because it's not
the marketing thing. We haven't turned it on yet.
It's not even about that. The fact is,
$500 million chain on the rookie of the year.
I know, but it's not about that. It's about the fact that they can now test out these packs for a month. If they weren't in beta, that would be total bullshit. They can't do that. This is their excuse to be able to continually pull different levers and test different things. Otherwise, they can't.
I hope they're in contact with Gig Labs.
I mean, they could, but it gets dicey.
The randomizer thing got messed up. The way they worded it made it sound like they tested this on UFC, and NFL keeps all their stuff in house. But UFC was the only one that was third party. Jeb talks about it a lot. I've heard him talk about it on how it was third partied and they want to take it over or something. I don't know all the details, but basically it was third partied by Gig Labs, and they ran it their own way. So like that randomizer issue was not because of UFC's, because that was a different company who ran that.
Quick general question, since we were talking about all day real quick. How do you guys feel about the new marketplace?
The all day one?
It looks cleaner than UFC.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen it. I've seen the UFC one. I didn't see the all day.
So just to be clear on NFL All Day's marketplace, they let people list for like a couple of hours.
Very wordy.
And then they were like, this is a bad idea. we're going to only let people delist their original listings because there are listings there. If you look at the marketplace
for $1,
of very, very good players for $1.
Legendaries, $1.
Legendaries. Yeah. So, but it is really, really clean. Functionality wise, it's a little different than Top Shot. But it's fine. I'm gonna be really intrigued to see what the marketplace looks like when it goes live for real.
See how wordy it is.
I just want to see how liquid it is. I'm intrigued. I mean, obviously, I'm holding some decent sized bags here, so like self-interest is self-interest here. Let's be very clear.
There are $1 moments here.
Right.
Everybody.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, the Kyler Murrays are really interesting that they're like going.
Von Miller for $1.
Von Miller Super Bowl stack $1. Like this is just it's a little troll for what's going on right now, but this is
so some people are going to get these crazy.
The marketplace, it's bought. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So that guy's
and the marketplace goes live Tuesday.
I don't care about them.
Right.
So what they did was
when it goes live.
What they did was they basically were like, we're just going to let people delist for now because we realize this is kind of a bad choice. But when it goes live on Tuesday, all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The flow transactions.
Look at the cost on legendaries. Look what people are pricing legendaries at.
So the reason why
he says it's not sports fan, it's NFT nerds.
Is because
I wonder what the split is on actual NFL fans on here.
Wow, $10,000. Dang, go get your nice bag over there, Mike.
I know, right? And look, mine's Micah Hyde. Look at the Micah Hyde. I think the low ask is $12,000.
That's nice. Good for you.
There you go.
I will happily take $12,000 for this Micah Hyde moment. All right,
and it's out of 56,
give me all of the money. Thank you.
You have like the weird bottleneck version.
Yeah, that one only has like
the Super Bowl wild card weekend. Yeah, nice.
I think Poker Pro Eric is calling back that
beacon of hope.
Beacon of light.
Beacon of hope. Beacon of light.
Yeah, we and Renato are giving you the best NBA coverage possible.
Yeah, that's why we like to stick with a lot more NBA than we do with like the Top Shot stuff because nobody unless you're on the inside really. These are just questions we can ask, right? Like, what does that one line there like really mean? Does that actually mean notice? What's the intention behind it? You can ask those questions, but you'll never really get the answers behind it. It's just you can speculate, but we're in the business of talking basketball, not speculating. So I'll leave that to Twitter and all the NFT space, the Twitter spaces that Mike runs, and it's apparently just blowing up left and right. So love to see that. Love to see you going into the conversation with a lot of people. That's always awesome.
Called on Twitch?
What's Top Shot Kingdom, Poker Pro Eric?
Mike, what's that thing on Twitch that you just got? A partnership?
Affiliate. Yeah, I hit affiliate status.
Oh yeah, you hit affiliate status. That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. We got 16 subs this week. So we got a goal of 50. I think we'll hit it, but we'll see. Takes a little time. We've been grinding.
And also too, I'll go for anybody else who's over here and watching up until now. We're gonna be streaming basically in about an hour. So for
stream, I don't understand how your girlfriend puts up with your shit. You literally stream like all the fucking time. Well, I love you, buddy. But I'm sure it looks like your girlfriend loves you even more than we do because you're with us more than her.
So I was up today first of all, didn't do anything on Saturday. Saturday was our day for us to be able to go and hang out. We actually had a really cool like couples party, played Mario Party, had a blast. Was up early this morning, went out with another couple, did our brunch, left, said, she understands because when you sign up to go and be with myself for in a relationship, the understanding is that when All-Star Weekend happens, it's All-Star Weekend. I'm sorry that Valentine's Day is around, but like it's going to be whether it's me with you guys on stream, which has been like the coolest experience to be able to have, or whether it was just me with my buddies watching it, it's happening. So, but the cool thing is that she does genuinely like basketball, so I get to watch it with her sometimes. But yeah, tonight we'll be on and we'll actually be giving away an All-Star 21 pack, a rare. So if you guys want to swing by, feel free to come in. We had a pretty good time on Friday.
Pack Trip's going to come on and win the pack, and people will just be like,
"Greg, get how crazy this is!" And this is the part that like inspires me at the very least of still investing in the product and being in the product. Yeah, the Supersonic story. So we set up a really cool game to be able to, we basically took, one subscriber, one person who's a part of like a sub community in our Discord. We set up a game basically. Odds were stacked against this guy to be able. He basically only had one entry inside. Turns out that the rare Ray Allen rib goes to like a huge Supersonics fan. And so those kind of stories really do inspire me in the end. And I know that that's naive, and maybe a naive way to think about, this platform, but I think that at the very least, those ripple effects, when you have those kinds of stories, can help beget some of this and help fight against some of this, FUD out there in the community. So we'll do what we can in order to be able to, give people and the fans what they really want if, maybe Top Shot drops the ball here and there. So
look at you doing a little shilling, Dream. I like it.
Hey, you know me, I get uncomfortable with that stuff, so gotta play the game, I guess, right?
You should be shilling more. We talk about this all the time.
The one entry thing is for real, because that's, I think, Tandy, my Tandy, Joe, Phil, whatever we call him at this point, the guy with the half face of hair. He had very low entries. James Tilson was the second highest entry winner. Entry putter, and he ended up winning.
And that's a great example, Patrick. Yeah.
Yeah, this is by the way, this is a bottleneck
the guy
alert.
who stacked the deck like James Tilson won. He was in second. The guy who bought the first most didn't get pulled, and like he's pissed about it. I like as mad as he is about the whole thing. The one thing I want to say is the heart of collecting those trade tickets for the raffle was that whole S1 pack was sold and then funded the All Star game. Granted, that pack sold for less than $200 fair market value. I opened it, blah blah blah. Like, it was that money that all these community members were donating tickets was to fund these content creators who are flying out, and I'm trying to buy prizes so everyone kind of also feels something in return for making it out all the way out to Springfield, Massachusetts.
Veerman fucking drove from Toronto.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. TST, Veerman, like people are coming from all ways, and that money that went in that pack that ended up being worth $180 just went straight to a prize pool to where the Draymond Green Top Shot debut that Clee Gaines bought, I paid like $250 for it. The S1 pack and 170 trade tickets. By the way, I put 170 of my own trade tickets in because that's all we got for the whole thing. So we got less than $200 for the whole pack. Like, it was a community effort. We tried to pool our money together, and sometimes the best things don't happen as everybody wants. But I do want to restructure something with the prize pool and how, like, the raffle tickets or something. I was trying to think of new ways. Maybe community members like vote in other community members or something with trade tickets or something. But at the end of the day, the trade tickets are going to pools that are going to prizes that people get to, go home with and everything.
I think it was a novel idea, and you can just build on it next year. It's just a matter of having that.
I felt so bad. I tried to invite him on after the game, but he felt some type of way about it, and that's never what it was. This was literally a community event, and I thought that he was like the coolest dude out of the whole thing that I hope should have got it, because he galvanized other people to donate for him. Like, I got DMs like, hey, I'm sending over 5 trade tickets for this person. And to this day, it upsets me because he messed, every time someone posts something about the All-Star game, he comments and says, scammer, this dude's fake. And this dude's
wow, really?
Bro, I promise. It sucks too, because
that's stupid though.
I swear to God, this dude was the most invested in this game before anybody.
But
and
that's
telling
stupid
everyone about
to say
it,
it's a
telling
scam.
other collectors, and it sucks. It's it literally is just the luck of the draw, and you have sometimes these big time winners and everything, and things that come in clutch. If Tandy didn't win, I promise you, to get that raffle, that one ticket he put in, we wouldn't have had the angles for this game.
Yeah, you're right.
Just by chance, you never know what really could happen and everything, and yeah, that random draw. Congrats.
I guess that is the opposite effect, right? We get this inspiring Supersonic story. You get this, crap. I mean,
yeah,
it's just,
you have the guy who puts in one ticket,
yeah,
just off of faith or whatever, and he wins. But then you got people trying to actively do it and not win.
Basketball Joe dropped 25 subs for on the contest for the one entry that this guy got. He gave away one sub. And he won it over the guy who had 25 inside. It's just the way it works.
That's what I'm saying. The dude literally spent mad bread to try to do it. But at the end of the day, the guy sent me 60 trade tickets, $2 a trade ticket. He sent me $120. If anything, you should think if you lose the entry, you still know you donated approximately $120 towards the prize fund to the NFT All Star game for content creators who spend late nights editing clips and flying out to Springfield, Massachusetts. You came from Chicago. But he's gonna bitch because he didn't win and stuff. But you came out of pocket and did all this stuff to make it happen. And the whole point was that everybody kind of everyone's good in the end.
But you know what, Patrick? This wasn't even really your fault. you could have actually made it such that he could have been out there if you would have known ahead of time that certain people were going to wait until the last second to not go.
I'm still going to find a way to get you in here because he put in too much work and he just felt offended that he didn't win and he felt like I rigged it. And I'm like, I still will print the jersey for you if you show up. And yeah, that's why I have these extra plain jerseys. I kept one for Coach AC, and he didn't show up.
I mean, you can send me one if you want. I'll take it.
Your jersey's coming next year with your last name on it, Mike.
Yeah, we need you and Tandy there, like live at the table with the mics
Look,
on.
I might be playing, dog.
Oh, you're gonna be playing. Okay,
yeah, he's playing. Yeah. He's gonna have his last name on the back of that jersey.
Yeah, I gotta like strengthen my knee. I gotta see if I can play 48 minutes of basketball. That'd be great.
Anyways, guys, these guys play 48 minutes of basketball, and we hear about LeBron and all this stuff. Mike is out there the same age as LeBron, still balling. Well, Mike Zakarian. I know there's a lot of Mikes in the game. Even Jeb.
That's okay. I'm the same age as LeBron too. Braun's
My middle
37.
name's Michael. We're all Mike at the end of the day.
A lot of Mikes in this group.
Chewy,
anyways,
settle down over there, bro.
What's going on with Chewy?
Probably right.
Hey man, we got. I can order an XL. I got you. If I had a jersey for Clee's big ass, he's built like a wall. If I got a jersey for him, can we a jersey for you?
Can we talk about that Clegane photo for a second?
Oh yeah, dude, he's freaking just. Oh my god, yeah.
We need to put that on social and just troll the fuck out of him. Like every time he has a Twitter post, someone should just post that photo.
I'd like people to troll me if I had that photo. Like, troll me all you want.
Yo, seriously, he should just bury into that, right? You say that I'm too positive. How positive is this, right? Like, it's just
been in Predator. Just had one of those miniguns like Jesse Ventura and Apollo Creed and everything. He should have been in there.
No, yeah, dude. It was honestly, Patrick, and that's the thing, right? Top Shot, if the bar was like whatever it was, you really, raised it in terms of like in real life utility. I mean, this was a complete like fan led event. You got Jacob Eisenberg on the show, and kudos to him for doing that. I mean, it was.
Did not expect Jacob to come on.
Yeah.
The Dream plus Jacob combo was amazing.
I
Dream on the court, Jacob on the combo.
I want to say Jacob's the real one.
He is a real one. That's why I hope next year they get to actually play with us, because that's something weird too that, I guess we didn't get to talk about, but there were certain people that were going to maybe be coming to this event, but then, you get hired and you can't anymore. So whether that's a policy that's guiding that or whether that's, own personal choice, I want to probably lean on the former than the latter because of the, separation of sponsorship and all that. Still pretty cool that at the very least they met us this way. And hopefully as the years go on, they can meet us a bit more and a bit more and a bit more because
I think it's interesting that we had to say that it wasn't sponsored by Top Shot, but then on the flip side, the head of Top Shot's marketing and comps comes on. Like,
yo, that's crazy, dude. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, the game initially was the NBA at Celebrity Top Shot All Star game, but I didn't put NBA, so they wouldn't be liable. And then the more and more I thought about it, I thought I'm kind of closing myself off to Top Shot, and there are other NFT companies who want to get into this event and have no clue how to break in. So I had to make it the NFT All Star game.
Yeah, dude.
To get sponsorships and to make this happen a little bit, and to get cool banners and to get, thermoses with the NFT All Star game on it. Every single player got one for free. I had to change it to NFT All Star game. Same. Everybody got a little sweat rag. NFT All Star game with the Move logo.
Right? The jerseys are freaking fire.
The jerseys are fire.
Yeah, they fit great. Yeah. I mean, it's
had to get Move in there too. DeAndre's company. So awesome. We worked together to make this happen. We grew up basketball fans, knowing each other. DeAndre never played basketball. Really, he was just a straight soccer player my whole life.
Yeah, I reject that notion. This is ridiculous.
Smell that, Tandy? That smells like bullshit.
Yeah, that smells like grade A bullshit.
I would say C-Truth cares about basketball more than JPEG Trainer.
Obviously it's not about caring. Giannis didn't pick up a basketball until he was like 18, right?
There you go.
Yeah, JPEG Trainer stopped caring when it was when Kobe retired. Like that was his Lakers Kobe. That was it. Like this new LeBron thing, he's cool with it and everything. Laker fan, but like Colin C-Truth is a Celtics delusional diehard. He watches every single game. he's got these crazy takes about what Marcus Smart should be doing. Like, he's so invested in truly in the basketball.
That was really cool to hear from your friends about that, by the way. Getting to understand them from like a collection standpoint, what they went into. It was really interesting.
We all joined at the exact same time. Our friend Tyler Brady bought somehow I honestly I gotta talk to him about this. He just comes into our stock group chat one time, because that's really like where I've like made money and done fine. And he comes to our stock group chat and he's like, "You guys like the NBA? Like I just got this $10,000 Luka card. This card that's worth $10,000. This Luka card." He's like, "If you guys know basketball and stuff, I'm pretty sure like you can make money on this." Me, I grew up collecting basketball cards and stuff. So, and I love hoops. So I go check this out, and I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome!" I start buying all these Bucks players, all overpriced. And then from there, I had to figure out what the hell I just did with myself. And then I had to reevaluate and play the collector score game and stuff. But I bought what I loved when I first came in. We all did. And we all got hit very hard.
It depends. Not all of us did. I certainly didn't even collect like any Heat moments that I actually wanted on the platform. And I still continue to get slaughtered when a new LeBron comes out or a Wade moment comes out, legendary. But at least I got $1 million $2 moments I could buy of his. So great.
$2 moments are the safe
Rising
bet.
Stars challenge for Anthony Edwards. And
No,
paid
but
like $15K for that challenge. I was a part of that challenge too, but I pulled the LaMelo Rising Stars. And then I pulled a Seeing Stars Luka in the Rising Stars pack. So like I flipped the Luka, and it kind of gave me a kickstart to do the Rising Stars challenge, the first one. But yeah, man, I can't believe Colin did the challenge with me. That's the first thing. But he did it not pulling the LaMelo and chased it with me because the Anthony Edwards play was dope.
The Anthony Edwards
lasted 28 days.
Heard about that.
Crazy bad taste in Colin's mouth. But he stuck with it. He was the only one who was really, really mad, like genuinely mad. But we have a group chat of like 20 guys, honestly. Even the refs, both refs, Top Shot collectors. We all went to high school together, and also like they've been in it since January, before I joined. I think I was one of the last ones because every time I would go on, I was working, I was doing something, I was busy. I would try to go on, site was down, couldn't even make an account. Put my name in, nothing, couldn't sign up. So yeah, they got in all before me. And they put me on the Top Shot, and from here I've taken it and ran with it.
Dude, you did it exactly. And if anything, if I talk about how Top Shot can be tone deaf and insulated and X, Y, and Z, I mean, the reason why I believe in the platform is because of people like you being on it and doing this kind of stuff. You're a 26-year-old kid from Springfield who just went and was like, you know what? I'm going to get all these people like with a net worth of X amount of money to come out and fly out to this thing. And I'm going to create an experience in the Naismith Hall of Fame. And you made it happen.
I could have took whatever this cost. I could have bought a LeBron Top Shot debut and looked for retweets and all that. You know what I'm saying? People scream community from the rooftops and all this other stuff. You know, it was something that was not out of reach. And, you know, like I said, I could have let the buzzer go off and got a couple retweets for clout or whatever. But I mean, I made enough money in this space. Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
true that, man.
We really gotta. What is this space if I'm really just alone in my room the whole time doing this? Like, it's weird. Like,
you're trying to be 3.0, man. In a world that's trying to that's trying to put curtain over us that it's 3.0, but it might be 2.0. I don't know.
And like, I was like, I could do this or I could do that. Like.
Yo, by the way, Tandy, if you want to pull the people that are in the chat right now, you know, in terms of just whoever's left, or if you've seen anybody, I can give them extra entries if they're on the stream to also win like a rib too. So for anybody's out there who wants to be a part of the show later and maybe win, or I'm sorry, not a rib, an All-Star pack, there's 7 moments inside, which is pretty cool. So we'll see what other.
I gave away a rib this week. It was crazy.
Wait, so hold on. What's going on? Because I'm about to sign off.
Yeah. Well, no, it's if you want. So, like, if you have like like you can use Nightbot, for instance, to pull a list of the active people that are in here. I think it's been hovering around like the 15 like mark. So,
and then what'll that do? What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to be giving away an All-Star pack on our stream in about an hour. So I got
All-Star pack.
Yeah,
one of these new ones, the standards.
No, like the 21 All-Star rare pack.
You're giving it away?
Yeah, because we did a community. So the thing is that, yeah, we do.
Look how Danny's. He's like, but why?
Yeah, you see, awesome. The thing is that we do community challenges, as you know, with the Boards to Buckets account, and so that challenge was done with the community, so the prize is going to be for the community. And so we don't get that pack without the community contributing pieces into it and without creating that kind of trust and camaraderie to do challenges together. So all these like moments and rewards that we're getting, that's all going to come back to the community. So whatever fire we pull, it's going right back out there. And that was always the intention of the design behind it. So if you got people that are in here in the chat that want to, be a part of the stream later and kind of get a vibe for us, but also they've been here the entire time, maybe they were here for like 5 minutes and they get the best part. But you can go on Nightbot if you want, and you can maybe pull a list down. You can DM me, whatever you want, and if not, it's cool.
Okay, so you're saying you want a list of everyone that's in here?
Yeah. If you want to, it's up to you.
All right. So then, if you're in here right now and you want to be part of this All-Star Game pack giveaway,
like Quarter Maniacs, for instance, he's one of our guys in the Discord. Like big, and I want to make sure that he's in the contest. And if he's in here supporting you and you're supporting us, we're obviously going to get back to you.
So type B2B in the chat if you want to be part of this.
Another person who's a big collector, TS Trigger. So you're speaking of this All-Star pack. Trey joined Top Shot, I want to say a month before the All-Star pack came out, but he couldn't land anything ever. Couldn't land a pack. So then he actually gets in queue and lands the All-Star pack, but he just started. This is his first time ever. He was like, I'm not paying $220 for this shit. I said, yo, pull up. I'm going to give you $260 cash. So he still has my All-Star pack sitting in his account. All his other stuff is his account. But like, he made an account, was like, yo, I want to join Top Shot, blah, blah, blah. He bought a couple moments and stuff. Did not want to pay $220 for a pack. He thought it was ridiculous. And still to this day he's got it. So I'm waiting on pack trading at the moment.
I'm also going to be opening a Super Bowl pack, and my stomach is like just in knots about what I'm going to get.
I'm keeping mine closed.
Yo.
Yeah.
My Pro Bowl pack was dog shit, and it was supposed to have Mac Jones and Brady in it, and it didn't happen.
Here's a really hot take. Probably more lukewarm, even closer to freezing cold, if I'm being honest. Those packs suck. Like $250 for 9 moments, with one of them a guaranteed rare legendary. Cool. You would get like a fucking team moment. Awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, your odds are phenomenally low of getting something good. And like, I really struggle with spending that chunk of change on something that really your EV on it is pretty low.
Oh, so maybe I should keep it close. Kidding.
That's what I would do. I mean, look at the pack. You get one guaranteed rare legendary. You get and if you look at the pack contents, and Tandy, you can pull this up if you want, but like I know we're about.
I think Tandy wants to head off now.
He's I'm gonna go to sleep.
All I'll say is look at the pack contents. It's a bit of a nightmare, personally.
Yeah,
why do you get it?
So all the more reason why flipping the pack, I'm not even sure what kind of value's behind it. If they end up putting out more fire, if they do ribs, for instance, over the summer, NFL season's over, so I imagine that's going to be where they go. So
rare floor is $275, as Superliminal says, but like we don't know if that's through a floor.
And they said something with their weeks 1 through 12 aren't getting released. They're only getting minted. All the moments are getting one of ones.
And badges are out. Badges are coming onto the platform as well.
Badges are coming out soon. But yeah, they're not making.
I have the Tom Brady badge, baby, common. I'll take it. Anyway, awesome. Tandy, I know you got.
Yeah, we'll let you go, man. And as far as like what do we do for the pack giveaway, G's? So just head the boards to buckets. Subscribers get extra chances. Like if you just pop into the stream later, I'll explain it all later on. But we make it as interactive as we can to make sure that your odds based on what you put into the community will be compensated as such. We'll have 7 moments, and who knows? Maybe you'll end up with one. But hopefully we'll see you guys later. And Tandy, thanks for having me on and having all the people. That was really fun. And obviously Mike and Patrick, if you want to pop on the stream later, you guys are more than welcome.
Yeah. All right.
You can DM me. I might be grabbing dinner, but yeah.
Of course. Do that. Yeah. All right.
Guys. Anyhow, thanks guys. It was a long stream. So any of you guys, you want to go hang out with Dream later, go to Boards to Buckets. There's Chewy's little shout out. And until
in about
next time, thank you guys for all hanging out.
See you
later. Or 8 o'clock. Later.
Bye.
Static Selector.